Pitch to the plate on an 0-2.
It's time for Wenatchee AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Tonight, the AppleSox take on the Bend Elks in West Coast League action. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Merry Maids, Mini Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Walkabout Grill. Now let's go live to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium with the call of tonight's AppleSox baseball game. Here's Eric Granstrom.
See ya! Round tripper for Brandon Ponce. Welcome and a good evening to you. Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel. It's time for baseball. Well, the Wenatchee AppleSox are being introduced in front of a good crowd here tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. It's the AppleSox and the Bend Elks, the first of three games here at Paul Thomas. The AppleSox returning from a 6-game road trip where they went 3-3. They swept Nanaimo, but then for the first time this season were swept over the weekend by the Victoria Harbor Cats. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Brandon, good to have you along tonight and looking forward to a good baseball night.
You bet. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
It's a night where the wind has been blowing all day today, but do I dare say that it's laying down
Please
a little bit right now?
Don't jinx it.
We have our anthem on the way and baseball coming up. It's Wenatchee, it's Ben coming up next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
I chose a career at Confluence Health because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, along with Brandon and Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel as we get ready for our first pitch of the ball game. Let's take a look at the lineup here for the Bend Elks, coming in with a record of 6-3 in the second half. They're 18-18 overall, so they are definitely in the playoff hunt for the second half here in the standings. Starting it off in the number one hole batting order, it'll be the second baseman Tyler Peterson. Batting second will be Jake Hoskins, the shortstop. Batting third, Luca DiPaolo, the catcher. Batting fourth will be the right fielder Ryan Christensen. Batting fifth, Bennett Thompson, who's the first baseman. Batting sixth will be the DH tonight, Trey Nelson. And batting seventh, Braden Terry, the center fielder. Maddox Maloney will bat eighth. He's the third baseman. And batting ninth will be Justin Sukata, who is the left fielder. Ben coming off a 3-game sweep of Port Angeles over the weekend. So they're hot. Wenatchee, not so much after dropping 3 to Victoria. But I'll tell you, Victoria is a very good ball club. The starters for the AppleSox with a record of 6-3 on the second half of the season, 25-11. That makes them the third best record in all of the West Coast League. First of all, let's talk about who's on the mound here for the AppleSox. Defensively, it'll be Felix Schlide getting the start here today. He's a 6'6", 245-pounder out of Arizona, originally from Seattle, but he attends Central Arizona University. He has a 0 earned run average. This will be his second start of the summer. He did get 3 strikeouts and a walk in his first appearance in an AppleSox uniform. So here we go, ready for baseball tonight. As Rick Freitas, that is, will be the home plate umpire in our first pitch of the ball game. Snaps the leather of the glove of the catcher, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count as we are underway here at 6:36 p.m. in the great Northwest. Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel. The 0-1 pitch on the way is a little outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. And always love to have your guys throw strikes to start the game.
Exactly.
What was that phrase you used as a coach there, Brandon?
First pitch strike.
All right, first pitch strike.
Yep. That's a
FPS.
FPS.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Here we go with a 1-1 pitch. It's a check swing. He went around, though, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Tyler Peterson. Peterson batting .273 coming in on the season for the Elks. He's got 17 runs batted in, 3 doubles, so some speed in that leadoff hole. This pitch misses a little high and outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count to the sophomore at Lower Columbia. Boy, Lower Columbia has put together some good teams.
Oh, man, they have. Yeah. And a beautiful field down there, too.
2-2 pitch misses just outside for ball 3.
That's where Coach Hippie was at for the longest time, right? Yeah. Former coach here.
Man, he was a classic dude.
Yes.
That is for sure. And just a super nice guy, too.
Got him.
Got him on a strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game comes to the first batter on a full count pitch to Tyler Peterson. Bring it up for Schlade, and that'll bring up Jake Hoskins, the shortstop.
A little bit different vantage point than we had last game, and it looks like he was painting that outside corner right there.
Yeah, we had to move away from our spot behind home plate next to the press box because Ben actually brought a traveling radio announcer, which is very rare in the West Coast League. First pitch here, boy, he is stinging that leather, isn't he? He just missed a little bit high for ball 1 to Hoskins. 1-0 the count. Hoskins comes in, batting .246 for the Elks with 10 RBI. He's got 1 home run on the season. I was wondering with that wind we had if that was going to play a part in maybe some balls to right field tonight with that wind blowing left to right here at the ballpark.
Yeah, it sure did in the last game that we covered.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah,
that was the difference of the game.
2 home runs, 2-run home run and a solo shot, and that was it. 3-1 was the final. The 2-0 pitch here is a strike on the inside corner. Fooled Hoskins. He kind of danced away from that one. Little bender there off the arm of Schlade. Felix, big lanky right-hander with the 2-1 pitch, and that's in for a strike as well. Evens the count at 2-2. Well, if you're the first couple of hitters, though, for Bend, you want to try to work the count, get the pitch count up a little bit, and they've done that so far.
Yeah, that's a thing that, as your leadoff hitter and your number 2 guy, your job is to see pitches, and I think that's a good curveball right there that he threw to him, and so he's going to come back and report as you watch him walk back to the dugout. He's reporting to the guys, hey, he's got a good fastball. It has a little bit of run to it. His changeup will, I don't remember if you saw in the World Series. But there was a guy from Houston that was pitching, and he had a tip.
Ooh, ouch. This one hits the batter right between the 3 and the 5 in the back, so Luca DiPaolo will head down to first base.
But he had a tip that he was given, and the Washington Nationals picked up on it, and I think they had like 2 or 3 home runs in that one inning.
Right. And they did a good job with the broadcast of explaining what was going on there, too. And you saw that in the dugout. The guys were saying, hey, watch for this. So a runner aboard with 2 down, a couple of strikeouts here for Schlade in this first frame. This pitch is a little bit inside, I guess, for ball 1. To Ryan Christensen, right fielder, sophomore out of Sacramento State. Steps in the left-handed batter's box. Boy, Ben put up some runs over the weekend in the series against Port Angeles, including 13 yesterday. Check swing here. He goes around. The count evens to Christensen at 1 ball and 1 strike. Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, our location here on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. It's 325 down the lines to right and left and 408 to straightaway center field. Bounces in here. The ball gets away from the catcher and down to second base. Trotting will go DiPaolo on a wild pitch. 2-1 to count to Christensen. I think that got a piece of the umpire.
It did, yeah.
So he takes a little moment for himself to walk around outside of home plate.
Always the best thing as a catcher to walk out there and have a little communication with your pitcher just to give them time.
Nice rapport with the umpire early in the game. So then later, as you know, catchers get dinged up too, the umpire will give you time to kind of collect yourself.
You might get a pitch while you're up there at the plate too.
Right.
A questionable pitch may go your way.
2-1 to count to Christensen. Runner in scoring position with 2 down here for Bend in their part of the first. Schlade ready, and the pitch to the plate, swung on a miss, and a hefty fastball there. The count evens to Christensen at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he's got 2 Ks already here in this inning. He has a chance to strike out the side now, does Felix Schlade. Schlade gets the sign and likes what he got. The 2-2 pitch is strike 3 called. Gone looking is Christensen, and he does, in fact, retire the side on the K's. We'll take a break and come back. Nothing for Bend. Wenatchee due up next. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Baseball, the Symphony, Super Oval, and graduations are all community events we're proud to bring you on the NCWLIFE Channel. Coverage is made possible by Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Apple Barrel Bark, Castle Rock International Real Estate, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds and More, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. A reflection of and spotlight on the communities we call home, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel, getting ready to see the AppleSox bat for the first time in this one. They will be facing Eric Valdez, who is 0-1 on the season with a 7.71 earned run average, 10 strikeouts, 9 walks. This will be his second start. He's a 6'1", 190-pounder out of Feather River College. We've been talking about, colleges we'd never heard of before.
Exactly.
Okay, add that one to the list. He's originally from Reno, Nevada. He'll face Kyle Hennington, the leadoff man in center field. Batting second will be Mason Strong, the right fielder. And batting third will be left fielder Brandon Ponce. So we'll get the outfield guys up at the plate here first, 1, 2, 3 for the Wenatchee AppleSox and Miles Darlington. Wenatchee coming in with a record of 6-3 after losing 3 over the weekend to Victoria. They're 25-11 overall. And the left-handed hitter of Kyle Hennington will step in the plate to face Mr. Valdez. And the first pitch snaps the leather of the glove, and it's a little high for ball 1. So important to get eyes on what's happening, right? Just leadoff man, really needs to take a look at a few pitches, but he takes a look at 2 here and pops out to the shortstop. Easy play for the shortstop for Bend, and that'll bring up right fielder Mason Strong.
Looks like he got a little fisted on that pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, just got a text message from Joel Norman, who's the radio broadcaster for the AppleSox. He said, between today, for fans that are here at the ballpark, doesn't do us any good because we won't be back here tomorrow, but between today and tomorrow, they'll get all the numbers straight on the roster because it is a mess. And Brandon and I will tell you, it's a mess right now. Mason Strong stands in, takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1 to count. You know, one thing we didn't talk about, and you can't see it here if you're a broadcaster or if you're a fan. This pitch swung on and lifted in the air to left field, and that's going to be an easy play for the left fielder out there. So a fly out to left for the second out. 2 down for the AppleSox, brings up Brandon Ponce. But there is a pitch clock here, same as college baseball. There is the pitch clock here in West Coast League and Summer Collegiate Baseball too. We just have no idea where we are.
Yeah.
It's totally up to the umpire to keep track of that pitch clock.
Oh, so they do have one.
They do have it, yeah. Yep.
You know, that's something that has really sped up the game of baseball.
I'm telling you what. First hitch here to Branham. He was looking for the fence on that swing. Misses 0-1 to count to Branham. Out of Washington State University, Branham on the season for Wenatchee, batting .286. He's got 1 home run, 18 RBI. Takes this pitch low for a ball. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Good to have, you know, they originally, when the West Coast League started, they said no seniors.
Oh, really?
Can't have seniors in summer collegiate ball because what's the point?
Right.
You know, they're done. This pitch swung on a fly ball to right field, and that's out of play.
That was hit well.
That was hit well. Opposite way. How about that? The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Ponce. But, you know, guy like Branham. Of course, you know, there is the caveat of COVID that has changed the whole landscape for a lot of guys, and they've got extra years of eligibility now. But you can have the seniors on the lineup. But swing and a miss here by Ponce, and that'll do it for Wenatchee. A 1-2-3 story in their part of the first. To the second we'll go. Scoreless so far. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
And here we go to the second inning of play. Bennett Thompson, Trey Nelson, and Braden Terry due up here for the Bend Elks. And Brandon, you're just making a comment about, you know, as left off before the commercial break, about how it's nice to have seniors and get that leadership, and what a difference that could be between the old man on the club in the summertime and a young kid.
Exactly. Yeah, this next kid coming up, Bennett Thompson's a senior in high school, just graduated from high school. So you go senior in high school to a senior in college.
Yeah,
that's a lot of maturing.
Absolutely, and could be 6-7 years difference in age.
Right.
Because I graduated at 17. I didn't turn 18 until I was a freshman in college.
I thought you were going to say you graduated at 26 from college.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So Bennett Thompson steps up here for the Elks. And the first pitch misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count. You know, you can't get around the game of baseball and not think about other things baseball, including baseball movies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the documentary, The Battered Bastards of Baseball?
I haven't.
Oh, my gosh. This pitch is a strike on the inside corner, evens the count to Thompson at 1-1. It is a documentary about let's see, I want to get the names right here. He played for the for Bend's baseball team back in the day. This is in the 70s, and it's about professional baseball in Portland.
Really?
Yes. And Kurt Russell's dad, the actor Kurt Russell, his dad was a longtime actor himself, but he was a baseball fanatic. And he produced movies that starred his son about the fundamentals of baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
His dad, and I'm forgetting Mr. Russell's name in the moment, but he was the sheriff. This pitch is a strike, and ooh, ouch, that doesn't look so good when you start heading down to the first base bag and drop your bat.
Yeah.
And it's strike 2.
Well, and that's that pitch that I think that he's been calling consistently all night long that none of the hitters are liking right now.
So he was the sheriff on Bonanza.
Oh, really?
As an actor, forever. This pitch swung on a grounded to the second baseman. Over is Sweeney, and he'll throw to first in time for Frankie Carney over to Sweeney. So 4-3 on the putouts. First batted ball of the game for Bend, and it is an out recorded. Trey Nelson now stepping up. He's a DH at Lynn Benton Community College.
Did you see that ground ball? It was staying on the ground the whole way.
It was true.
But those are the worst because you know it's going to hop up on you.
Yeah, you keep waiting.
You're like,
waiting. That's the old days when I was coaching the girls in softball. The repeated line, and probably wouldn't get away with it now, especially. But I said, butt down.
Yep.
You got to keep your butt down.
Yep. Old Ted Taylor, I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
Yes. We were just talking about this the other day about seeing the button on your hat.
Right.
So you want to see the button on the hat.
But anyway, Battered Bastards of Baseball, I hope it's still on Netflix. Talks about the story of Kurt Russell's dad buying the team in Portland at the time, and how it was an affiliate of Major League Baseball, but Major League Baseball hated the fact that he was a rebel with a cause and a team, and they made it impossible for them to be successful.
Really?
Pitch is popped up and foul, and right past the first base dugout.
That wouldn't have counted if he caught that anyway.
No, it's out of play. So anyway, just great slice of history and neat story. Battered Bastards of Baseball. Last I checked, it was on Netflix.
All right.
It came out.
I'll have to check that out tonight.
3-4 years ago, I think it came out. So I hope it's still there. 2-1 count here to Nelson with one down in this second inning of play. Scoreless so far here in Wenatchee.
Oh, that was
this
a good
pitch,
looking
that
pitch
looked
right
good.
there.
Missed outside must be, and the count goes to 3-1 to Nelson.
That was a little slider, it looked like, right there.
Yeah, must have just missed on the outside corner. Here comes the next pitch from Schlade, and that is going to be ball 4. So the second free pass of the night here for Schlade. This one on a walk. He hit a batter back of the first. So a runner aboard with one down brings up center fielder Braden Terry. Terry batting .226 on the summer in collegiate play. He's got 12 RBIs coming in. Still looking for a first extra base hit. Pitch here is swung on and fouled back. The count goes to 0-1. You know, it's interesting, too, for some of these. Well, Everett Community College, I'm sure he's played here at Paul Thomas. It's Wenatchee Valley.
Yep.
But you get some of these bigger school kids that have never played in this ballpark before, and then you suddenly plop down here for 3 nights in July, and you got to figure out the ballpark, too.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just offensively, but it's defensively as well.
Yeah, the first thing that you should do as a player is walk the outfield. To say if you're playing outfield, you should walk the outfield. See, is there any weird things going
undulations
on out there?
or soft spots or anything like that.
I went to Vanderbilt University when I was in college to visit a friend of mine, and in right field at Vanderbilt,
this pitch hits the batter, so Terry will be aboard with 1 out and now 2 on for Bend.
So before they redid their field, the lead up to right field, the right field fence was actually a slope.
Oh.
So it's kind of like in Houston.
Yeah.
So that you don't see very often.
No, but you got, that's why you walk it. That's why you look at it, because that would catch you off guard if you're running back for a ball and suddenly you're going uphill. First pitch here is in for a strike, and something that Miles Darlington probably is pretty happy to seeing right now from Schlade. After getting the first out, he walked a guy and then hit a batter. Now Maddox Maloney up there, which is a great baseball name, by the way.
Maddox
Maloney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 0-1 the count with runner in scoring position with just one down.
You wonder if his parents are Braves fans, right?
It could be.
Yeah, my son's name's Camden, after Camden Yards.
Okay. So is that for Cal Ripken? Is that
no,
just your Baltimore?
We actually went out to Washington, D.C., and my wife and I did when she was pregnant, and we went to a couple games at Camden Yards. We're like, hey, that's a cool name.
That is a cool name. I love that. This pitch misses just high for a ball. 1-2 the count now to Maloney. Yeah, it was just my daughter was visiting yesterday. She says, by the way, where did you come up with Gracie? I said, we went to a movie. It was after Princess Diana had died, and it was 1997, 98, and the main character in the movie's name was Grace. And this pitch, boy, misses. That was close.
Yeah.
Evens the count to Maloney at 2-2 here. And so we got the book, the book of names, and so we started looking at variations of Grace. And so Gracie's name is actually Grace Lynn.
Oh, okay.
And when she was born, we didn't know a boy or girl. We just, picked out a couple of names.
Right.
She was going to be Benjamin if she was a boy. This pitch swung on a line drive, just foul.
Yeah,
just foul. Wow. Count remains at 2-2 on Maddox Maloney. That was a run for sure, had it been about, 12 inches to the right.
Right. And I don't see, there
is a line that stretches down beyond the dugout here. So it could have gone out of play and been a ground rule double.
Right.
But that runner still would have scored from second base.
Yes. Yep, definitely.
2-2 the count to Maddox Maloney, the third baseman out of the University of Oregon. And a pitch on the way. Check swing, he went around, and another strikeout. That's going to be 4 now in the ball game for Felix Schlade. 2 down here in the inning. That was a huge out right there for the AppleSox.
Yeah. And he was questioning that, and to me it was pretty obvious, but this is where in this league they only have 2 umpires.
Right.
Where it would be nice to have that third umpire
to check the swing.
You can check a swing.
Right, exactly. Let's bring up Justin Sakata, sophomore from the University of Portland in the left-handed batter's box, and the pitch to him is a little bit inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Sukada, spelled Tsukada, left fielder. And we'll talk about this as the game progresses too, but Sukada is a recent joinee of the Elks. This pitch misses low for a ball, and that's something that teams are having to deal with. Eamon Amundsen, the star first baseman that still, I think, leads the West Coast League in home runs for the summer with 7, is now no longer with the AppleSox because he is going to Liberty and had to go back and get ready for school. This pitch swung on, popped up, and infield fly here. Shortstop coming in and making the play will be Izzy Lopez. And, well, he gets out of the jam.
Yeah.
Nice job by the pitcher for the AppleSox, Felix Schlade. We'll take a break and come back heading to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless in Wenatchee. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run cameras so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's the Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I got to go figure out this camera.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Apple Valley Honda. Test drive a new Honda today at Apple Valley Honda in East Wenatchee. They are committed to preserving the environment, not only with fuel-efficient vehicles, but also with other eco-friendly actions and alternatives at Apple Valley Honda. Also, our sponsorship includes Confluence Health, high-quality care close to home. Confluence Health, dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high-quality care in 12 communities. Frankie Carney, Izzy Lopez, and Nick Putnam do up here, middle of the order for the AppleSox. Scoreless game tonight so far here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCWLIFE Channel. So Frankie Carney leads it off and will bunt it up the third baseline. A nice-looking bunt, and it's a good thing the third baseman came in to field that, because it took a skip off the cut of the grass and was heading back fair.
Yeah, that's where we were just talking about Fenway Park and how beautiful it is and how flat that the surface is, the grass surface in comparison to the dirt.
Right.
But they have guys that are working there.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
That's what they're hired to do 24/7.
And here you get those little undulations in the dirt and the grass that will kick that back. So
right. Next pitch swung on and missed by Frankie. So Carney behind in the count here at 0-2. Carney batting .322, one of the lead hitters for the AppleSox. This pitch swung on and fouled away. That was in the dirt outside, and he was able to get a piece of it to foul it off and spoil it. So the count remains at 0-2, and the wind continues to swirl around here at the ballpark. It was blowing out to right initially, and now it's kind of swirling around in from center. We thought it might help the left-handed batters tonight with that right field fence lurking, 325 down the line, or right field fence, I should say. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on a pitch high and inside. Carney back in and ready. AppleSox falling to Victoria yesterday. This pitch swung on and hit the opposite way. Good backhanded play by Maloney.
Yeah, he
Throw
made that
across
look easy.
in time, and that is not an easy play, especially here at Paul Thomas.
Yeah, that stayed down on that and showed off his arm there too.
Well, and
made it look easy.
we got here to set up early today, and Bend was here, and they were taking a lot of infield.
Yeah, I was
to get the lay of the land.
Yeah,
and that's a good idea.
Yeah, he was actually out there pregame for 10, 15, 20 minutes and getting ground balls and just working on his footwork. With no ball even being hit to him, he was working on his footwork and hands and everything. So,
Izzy Lopez fouls the first pitch off. Izzy batting .212. Infield, and who's going to get this? It'll be the second baseman, who is watching that ball swirl around in the breeze. It wasn't easy.
No.
But he's able to make the play for the out.
That's the thing that a lot of people look at baseball and they say, oh my gosh, they get paid so much. And they do. Believe me, they do. But they're like, oh yeah, they only, show up and play a game. But if you're going to be good, you show up 2-3 hours before the game, get your batting practice in, get your ground balls, get in the weight room, do all the stuff that nobody sees.
Right. And I thought about that. That was one of my career paths when I was first getting into radio. I wanted to be Dave Niehaus. I wanted to be the voice of. I wanted to do that because he's the one that inspired me to get into this industry to begin with. Because I thought it was so cool that I could sit in my home with my little transistor radio under my pillow, trying to hide it from my mom and dad, and listen to the game at night, and that this guy could say something, and how he said it, I could see it.
Right.
And that was, I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And I thought, how do you do that? And then I want to do that. And so I got a chance to meet Dave Niehaus down at spring training in Arizona one year. This pitch swung on and a well-hit ball to right center field, and this is going to be down for extra bases. Rounding first, Nick Putnam heading into second. He'll chug in with a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the second.
That ball was hit really well, and I think the outfielder thought he was going to be underneath that, kind of coasted himself out there, and the ball kept on carrying like you were talking about.
It did. Certainly so. Braden Terry, no chance to get to that one out there in center field. And so the AppleSox have their first base runner of the ball game, and it comes with 2 outs here in the second. That'll bring up third baseman Reeve Boyd.
Freshman from Oregon State.
Reeve looking to pick up his 13th RBI of the summer with 2 down here. And the first pitch is off the catcher. And a little delay, throw down to third base, and an awkward slide down there by Nick Putnam. And Putnam is in safe on a wild pitch. It was a little bit of an endeavor.
He didn't look too confident in himself getting down
No,
there.
he didn't. Coach Darlington comes over and says, why did you hesitate? 1-0 the count to Boyd. And the first run of the ball game potentially 90 feet away here. Pitch on the way is a fastball, strike called, and the count even now to Boyd at 1 ball and 1 strike.
He kind of has a delayed strike call, doesn't he?
He does.
Which is good. You want to think about it for a half second. But
Rick Freitas is behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Taylor Jettings out on the base.
Hit well, too.
This is a blast to left center, but will the wind carry it back to the center fielder? It will. Well, we got a wind-aided double and then a wind-aided out for the defense, and that'll do it for Wenatchee as they get a runner aboard. They leave a man. We'll head to the third, still scoreless. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Our broadcast of AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by JDSA Law, a full-service law firm committed to your journey for life. That's JDSA Law. Also by Mary Maids. A clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee requests your free cleaning estimate today at 509-293-4243. That's 509-293-4243. Well, I think we still officially have a red flag warning in effect for hot temperatures and very windy conditions, which is not a good recipe for fire. We heard of a couple of brush fire calls earlier today. I'm hearing a siren in the background right now. So we're crossing our fingers and knocking on wood and everything else we can do about fires we've had so far. They jump on them so
they are. Yeah.
So we certainly appreciate the efforts there. Tyler Peterson will lead it off here to start the third, and the first pitch misses away for a ball. 1-0 the count. Peterson, one of 4 strikeout victims by Felix Schlade here in the ball game for the AppleSox. Big right-hander ready, and the 1-0 pitch on the way to the plate is high for ball 2. So I was talking about meeting Dave Niehaus. I mean, that was just ridiculous. I mean, I got a chance to meet here the guy that we all have our sports heroes. I had a radio guy as a sports hero. This pitch is a strike on the outside corner. And so I try not to blubber all over myself when I met him. And I actually did an interview with him. And I asked him about, hey, what do you say to a young broadcaster that wants to do what you do? This pitch swung on a chop towards the second baseman. Over to his right is Carney. He'll throw to first base in time for the out. 1 out here in the third. We'll bring up shortstop Jake Hoskins. And he said, he says it takes a commitment beyond anything you could possibly prepare to do. He says, think about it. So these guys these players play 162 games a year.
Right.
We broadcast 162 games a year. He said, I'm on my second wife. He says, I never see my kids.
Yeah.
And he just went on and on and on about, how hard it is not just to play baseball professionally, but to announce baseball professionally.
Right.
And it made me pause. It really did. I've had the opportunity to do some fun things in this broadcast industry. This is an extra base hit down the line, plucking it off the turf.
Ooh, that was
how
a
about
great.
That?
Oh,
no, the ball got away from the throw, and a great play turns into an error, and it will be a chance for Hoskins to get out of second base.
Yeah, and that's where, this is something that a lot of high school kids will just sit there and watch plays happen. But that right fielder should have been in position. He should have been sprinting over in position and been able to cut that off. First baseman couldn't leave his post there. Right. But the right fielder should have been in that position. Right. And that's what held him to. Sure.
Ponce made a great play out there to cut that ball off in left field. But then the wheel and fire back into the infield. This pitch is swung on and hit, fouled on the right field line. That's going to get out of play. And the count 0-1 here on DePaulo. But, you got to make that throw still and hit somebody, and he just threw it away from everybody.
Yeah.
And the rush of the moment, you can't blame him.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, okay, maybe I can get him down at second. I got to this ball pretty quick. I got the good hop. And then you spin and throw, and suddenly the ball's going almost out of play.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch to DePaulo, misses high for a ball. 1-1 the count to the catcher out of USC. I love this mix, too, of, all the different levels of college ball you have in summer collegiate baseball.
Yeah. Going from Pac-12 to Division III to high school kids.
Right, exactly. And how cool is that for, some of these kids to come in here and say, yeah, I got a hit off of a junior at USC.
Right.
I just graduated high school.
Yeah. A guy that just got done playing in the College World Series.
Yeah, right. 2-1 to count here to DePaulo.
Or previous to the draft could have been, hey, I got a hit off of a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, exactly. 2-1 pitch on the way is inside, and did it hit him? No, it didn't. Look like it did, but no. The umpire says, no, you just get back in there, and it counts 3-1 on Luca DePaulo. One on for Bend here with one out in the third. Runner in scoring position is Jake Hoskins out there at second base. And a pitch by Schlade on the way to the plate is a check swing. Did he go? Umpire says no on the appeal. And so another walk given up here by Schlade. Been kind of an interesting night for Schlade. He's got 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks, and a couple of hit batsmen.
Yeah. And not very many base hits given up.
No. In fact, just the one base hit. Yeah. So runners aboard at first and second, and if you're an optimist and the glass half full, you think now it's easier to get the double play.
There you go.
Ryan Christensen will step up, and they'll see if they can make him the victim of that. Pitch on the way to him, swung on, fly ball to right field.
I think that's going to stay in.
And the wind's carrying it, but back on the warning track and making the play is Mason Strong out there. Runner from second will tag and move into third easily.
Thought that had a chance there for a second with the wind.
Yeah.
It just picked up right previous to his at-bat. And
well, so far, Schlade has had a couple of sticky situations in this game, but he's been able to work out of it. Had runners at first and second last inning. Was able to get a pop-up to the shortstop after a strikeout to get the final 2 outs. Also had a runner in scoring position in the first inning and got a strikeout for the third out. Let's see what Schlade can do here as Bennett Thompson steps in. Runners on the corners, 2 down for Bend. Scoreless game so far. The pitch swung on and fouled off of the catcher. And a count 0-1. Our broadcast tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Mini Blinds and More. They specialize in custom blinds, shades, draperies, exterior awnings, exterior sunscreens. Yeah, you're battling the sun like everybody else this summer. Unmatched customer service, Mini Blinds and More. Schlade's 0-1 pitch swung on and a fly ball to center field. Coming in on the ball and making the catch on the line drive is Pennington out there. And he's able to work out of a jam again is Schlade. So that'll do it for Bend. They leave a couple aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
Eight, 9, and 1 batters due up here for Wenatchee, and they're part of the third. MJ Sweeney, Carson Oland, and Kyle Hennington, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Thanks for joining us for a lovely night here at the ballpark. I'm glad it cooled off. I was worried when I saw the temperatures yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. We had a race that was scheduled a couple Saturdays ago that we had to scrub because our equipment just doesn't work well when it's 100 degrees outside, let alone the people running the equipment.
Right.
But, yeah, so hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us here. I told Allie with the AppleSox, I said, we're trying to break a little string here for NCWLIFE Channel. It's not been good. I've got a different hat on tonight. You notice I don't have the AppleSox hat on tonight. I've got different underwear on tonight as well.
Well, that's a good thing.
And I also said, in the past years that we've been here doing a broadcast, the Coyote would come visit us at some point during the broadcast, and more often not, Wenatchee would score runs when that would happen. This pitch is swung on and hit, just foul. Oh my, inches foul.
Sounded like a broken bat there too.
Sweeney swings at the first pitch coming to him, fouls it off, and so he'll have to grab a new piece of wood and head back up there. But I said the Coyote needs to come visit us on our broadcast location at some point here tonight. She says, all right, I'm on it. We'll catch you up to date on some of the other scores in the West Coast League. Second half of the season is upon us. 9 games in already are the AppleSox, and they had such a great chance in Victoria over the weekend to take a good, strong hold of the second half first place positioning, but just couldn't do it. Swing and a miss here on a pitch out in the dirt, and the count goes to 0-2 on MJ Sweeney.
Yeah, they started off hot in the second half, going 6-0, and then
They did.
Ran into a buzzsaw there.
Yes. In Victoria, there's a reason. They are doing very well. Swing and a foul back here, and Sweeney stays alive. Carson Oland waiting on deck for the AppleSox. So it's interesting, if you're not familiar with the West Coast League, they take the first half of the season winner and then the second half season winner, and those teams get into the playoffs. So you have the North Division, the South Division. You get 4 teams that get into the playoffs, and then they play off, and then you have the championship. I mean, it takes well into August to finish up the season here for the West Coast League. This pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-2 the count.
And as you've talked about, a lot of the guys that will be playing in the playoffs didn't play.
Right, have not been
a lot
here
of the year.
all summer. Yeah, a lot of these teams are going to lose players that have to go back and get ready for college. And you don't blame them for, I want a week of summer before I have to go back and play fall ball. Pitch here swung on and missed. The ball got away from the catcher, but Mr. Sweeney will head towards the dugouts. First out here of the third is a strikeout. That's the second strikeout of the ball game for Eric Valdez, and that'll bring up the catcher Carson Oland. So if you have the same team that is atop of the standings in the first half, that's also in the top of the standings in the second half, then you take the team that has the next best overall record.
Okay.
So that's how that works. So, for example, the first half standings, this pitch swung on and popped up.
Oh, that's going to be right at us, Eric.
Right behind us. Wow, that was right behind us.
That was close.
So 0-1 the count here to Carson Oland. But let's see. Let's take a look at the standings here in the West Coast League. Point Streak does a great job, by the way, of keeping track of what's going on. So the first half win in the North Division of the West Coast League went to Bellingham. So Bellingham has already punched their ticket to the playoffs no matter what happens the rest of the season. This pitch is swung on, and a fly ball to right, and gone. AppleSox with their first run of the ball game, and it comes off the bat of Carson Oland.
That's always a good thing to get a home run out of your number 9 hitter, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. Oland gets a low 5 from his coach as he rounds the bases. And Carson with his first home run of the summer and his 4th extra base hits. Again, high fives all around from his fellow teammates as Wenatchee takes a 1-0 lead here in the third. That'll bring up the center fielder, top of the order for Wenatchee, and Kyle Hennington. And he will take the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count to Kyle, who is 0 for 1, popped out to short on the second pitch thrown to him to start the ball game. delivery to him here is a little bit high.
Doesn't look like he's getting that outside pitch that he was getting in the first inning.
Exactly. It's always interesting to see the shadows and the sun streaks change here at the ballpark as the world swings around and you get a different angle of the sun. You got this giant pine tree that's over by the concession stand here at Paul Thomas. And if you're watching on TV right now, you can see that shadow lurking over the mound. So the pitcher's standing in the shadows. He'll deliver the ball, and then suddenly the ball goes into the sun as we get a man aboard here. Hennington with 1 out and 1 in. That'll bring up right fielder Mason Strong.
They had mentioned that the other night in the All-Star game about how the shadows, it was so difficult.
And if you've been to
Safeco.
T-Mobile Park
for
those day games, it is. I don't know how hitters can do anything when those stark shadows in those afternoon sun, the rare sunny days Seattle seems to get. This pitch misses high for a ball to make.
When it goes from light to shadow, and so the ball looks totally different. So you're getting a bright white ball to a faded out ball.
Exactly, like it just disappears on you as it gets to you. The 1-0 pitch instead is a toss over to the bag at first, not in time to get Hennington over there.
It's hard enough to hit anybody in the big leagues, let alone when they've got shadows that are helping them out.
Kyle Hennington, by the way, over there at first base, has this is his 8th game for the AppleSox this summer. He's got 3 stolen bases in those 8 games. So he's a threat over there. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Hefty cut by Strong, and the count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. See what's happening with the Mariners tonight. Oh, that was a frustrating weekend for Mariner fans.
Yeah.
Got Detroit coming into town that had been struggling, and
only snuck 1 out on them.
They did. Thanks to Bryce Miller. Boy, he looked good yesterday. Swing and a miss here by Strong. The count, a ball and 2 strikes now to the Sox right fielder.
Well, now we're going up against Texas, who's unstoppable.
No, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Excuse me.
Yeah. 1-0 Twins on top of the Mariners in the top of the 3rd over at T-Mobile Park. Speaking of. 1-2 the count to Strong, and the pitch swung on a fly ball to center field. Should be a play for Terry. He came in initially and then had to backtrack a little bit. Ball kind of fooled him. That's what we talked about, learning a new ballpark. And also, we talk about the shadows here. So behind home plate is all in shadows. So center field, looking in from the sunshine, is looking across a piece of shadow where this pine tree is, and then sunlight, and then shadows behind home plate. So kind of hard to pick up the ball, I'm sure.
The nice thing, though, is they do have the trees behind home plate, which gives you a good backdrop. So you see the ball up against the green, which is nice.
2 outs here in the 3rd for Wenatchee. Leads at 1-0 on the solo home run this inning by Carson Olin. Runner at first is Hennington. The first pitch to Ponce misses. Branham is 0 for 1, a strikeout back in the first to end that frame. So Wenatchee was retired 1-2-3 in the first. He's had base runners last 2 innings in a row now. And the pitch on the way swung on and fouled off the catcher's knee pad, I think. And the count even now to Ponce at 1 ball and 1 strike.
We've got, let's see who's down there. Braden Boyd.
Warming up down the bullpen for Wenatchee.
Local kid, Chelan, Washington.
Yes. Love to see that. There's only one other game in the West Coast League tonight. One conference game, that is. This pitch is swung on. It was a run and hit because the runner from first, Hennington, was going, and Ponce fouls it off, so the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here. In the other game tonight, Cowlitz at home against Bellingham. That's in the bottom of the 3rd, just like our game is, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Black Bears. Cowlitz in the second half standings at 6-3 coming in. That ties them for 3rd in the South, along with Bend, as the Elks also 6-3 in the second half. Runner from first holds. Pitch swung on and hit in the air as he reached for that one. That's going to bounce foul towards the bullpen area for Bend, and the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Kelowna has snuck into first place in the North Division standings at 7-2. Victoria at 9-3 after sweeping the AppleSox over the weekend in second place. Wenatchee in 3rd, a game back at 6-3. Pitch here swung on a chop towards the shortstop. They'll go the easy route to second, and that'll retire the side. But Wenatchee does get the first round of the ball game on a solo home run by Carson Olin, his first round tripper of the summer. We'll take a break, come back for the fourth. It's 1-0 Wenatchee. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
Trey Nelson, Braden Terry, and Maddox Maloney do up here in the fourth for the Bend Elks as they now trail it 1-0. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, a family-owned company providing industry-leading care where each resident or patient is treated like a member of their extended family. Prestige Senior Living, where they celebrate life at every age. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Been an entertaining one so far with the AppleSox on top, 1-0. Appreciate you joining us here on our broadcast on television here locally on Local Channel 12, Charter Channel 19, as well as streaming on our Facebook page and our website at ncwlife.com. Felix Schlade will start it off here on the mound for the AppleSox in the fourth, and the first pitch looked pretty darn good, but apparently a little high to Trey Nelson, 1-0 the count. This pitch low for ball 2. You know, spending the first, I think, 8-9 seasons calling AppleSox baseball on the radio when they began this organization back in 2000. This pitch swung on and fouled back, and had a chance to travel with the team and stay in the hotels and hang around the guys a lot. And maybe you can attest to this as well, Brandon, being a former coach and still being involved in the coaching world. But this pitch is a well-struck ball, deep right center. There's no chance of this one. It's out. Trey Nelson with a leadoff home run for Bend, and the Elks, just like that, tie it 1-1.
That was hit to the big part of the ballpark, and I don't feel much wind right now. There was no question about that one.
That is his first home run in an Elks uniform in his 12th game of the summer. Well, we wondered if the wind would have a difference in this game. There was no doubt. Any ballpark in the world, that one would have been out. That is for sure. So it's tied up at 1-1, and now you asked about how long they might keep this young man in the ball game, and it looks like his night is now done. We're referring to Felix Schlade. So there's a pitching change being made. We'll take a break here on the broadcast for 60 seconds as well and tell you about the newcomer coming in. It's 1-1, AppleSox and Bend tied. We're in the top of the fourth. We'll come back next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Welcome back once again here to the ballpark as we have a pitching change made as Braden Boyd will step in. He is 1-0 on the season with a 3.00 earned run average. This will be his 6th appearance of the summer. He's pitched in 12 innings for the AppleSox. So Boyd out of Chelan will take over for Felix Schlade, who goes 3+, allowed a run on 2 hits. That run earned on a home run to lead off this inning. Struck out 4, walked 2, hit 2. So an adventuresome night for Mr. Schlade.
Yeah, we were talking about how he had seen a lot of hitters in that short bit of time, but was successful getting out of some jams in the previous innings, but doesn't help when a guy just comes up and puts a good swing
facing
like
the
that.
lineup for the second time through, and the DH Trey Nelson made him pay for a pitch that was up, and he slapped it over the right field wall. So now Braden Terry will be the first to face, and the pitch swung on and fisted over the shortstop into left field for a base hit.
I like that
Izzy Lopez made a great stab at it, literally, but a little seeing eye bloop single for Braden Terry. Not a hard hit ball by any stretch. Kind of off the end of the bat, cued over the shortstop the opposite way.
And that's why baseball's unfair, because a guy can hit a ball like that and get a base hit, and then next guy can come up and hit a line drive somewhere
right at somebody.
And get a double play.
Yeah, exactly. First pitch was close but missed. 1-0 the count here to Maddox Maloney, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 of 4 strikeouts for Schlade here in the ball game. This pitch is a strike, evens the count at 1-1. So also the battle with the sunshine and the shade here is right now happening to the runner at first and the first baseman, because they're looking back towards the mound right into the sunshine. This pitch is a little bit high for a ball. 2-1 the count to Maddox Malone. No outs, 1 run in. Tie game 1-1. 2-1 the count to Maloney. And the pitch by Boyd swung on and fouled back. Evens the count at 2-2. It's got to be fun for these kids from Brewster and for Chelan is looking at Braden on the mound right now to play for the home team, basically.
Yes, definitely. Get your parents come back down here and
2-2 the count. The pitch by Boyd is a curveball. Boy, didn't miss by much, and the count goes to 3-2. Braden Boyd was also a great basketball player, if I'm not mistaken.
They've had a couple good basketball players out of there.
Yes, just a couple.
Joey Harris.
Yeah. Joey Buckets. Runner for first goes. The pitch swung on and popped up. Foul out of play on the first base side. So the count will stay at 3-2, and the runner, Braden Terry, will have to head back to the bag at first.
Then a kid in 97 or 98, Phil Colin. Remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good basketball player.
Absolutely. Got some really talented kids here from North Central Washington. This pitch is low for a ball, and so a base hit kind of cued off the end of the bat. Now a walk has put runners at first and second, not the way that Braden Boyd wanted to start this appearance. And now he'll face Justin Sakata. Infield drawn in a little bit here. Reese Boyd comes in on the edge of the grass. Expecting with no outs, maybe a bunt to move the runners up. Probably a pretty good bunt here with Sakata out of the left-handed batter's box. Boyd ready. And the pitch is
letting him swing.
A little outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. You've got Terry at second base, Maloney at first base. First baseman M.J. Sweeney also in front of the runner on the edge of the grass over there at first. And the pitch by Boyd. Swung on and hit line drive, and it is a fair ball just inside the bag at first. That's going to score the go-ahead run. And the throw home is not necessary. AppleSox are able to corral it around home plate and keep any more damage from being done. Give an RBI on a sharp struck ball by Sakata down the right field line. Give him an RBI, and now it's a 2-1 advantage for Bend. Maloney winds up at third base on the play. And on that throw home, that's the unfortunate part about it, is Sakata is able to go down to second.
Yeah, I think he was going to get there anyway.
You think so?
Yeah.
He does have wheels, that's for sure. Back to the top of the order for the Elks, and Tyler Peterson stepping up. And the first pitch to him misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count. We're talking about Bend putting some offense together last 3 days in that sweep of Port Angeles. Curveball here is a strike called, and the count even to Peterson at 1 ball and 1 strike. Scored 13 runs yesterday in a 13-2 win over the lefties. Swung on and hit in the air, and this one's going to fall in for a base hit and score 1 at least. Sukata is going to scamper into third. Throw from Ponce in will be cut off, and so give an RBI to Peterson. And unfortunately for Braden Boyd, he's not been able to get it out yet.
No, hasn't. Well, Sukata's hit was struck well, but the other two have just been
little fungos.
Fisters.
Yep. So Maloney scores. It's now 3-1 Bend. And Sukata in scoring position with still nobody out. And coaching staff wants to have a talk with Mr. Boyd and get him to try to settle down a little bit here for Wenatchee. Bend also in the 3-game sweep of Port Angeles scored 10 runs on Saturday and 10 runs on Friday.
Jeez.
So if my CWI math is correct, 33 runs in 3 games.
That's pretty good.
That's a little bit of offense.
You don't lose very many games when you do that.
No, not usually, no.
Speaking of the shadows and the sun, you look over to the first base dugout, and Bend is basking in the sun right now while I see everybody over here from the AppleSox. Not everybody has them on, but there's a bunch of kids down here that have their hoods on.
Yeah, a little stark difference between yesterday and today. We were up around 100 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. And now today, I think we topped out at about 80, 82, something like that. Maybe.
With a bunch of wind.
Yeah, with a bunch of wind, that's for sure. 0-1 the count here to Hoskins, who is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. This pitch swung on. Another one fisted in the air, and this is going to be caught.
Play.
Runner from third goes. Here comes a throw home, and no, he will head back to the bag. A beautiful throw by Mason Strong with a strong arm out there in right field.
That was a good play. I thought that thing was going to end up falling in there.
The way things had been going, that's for sure. But that's also a good, smart play by Sukata to draw the throw, and it's only 1 out.
Right.
So don't be the second out at home plate.
And that was a strong arm there.
Yes, it was. So Luca DePaula will step up now for the Elks.
Been on base twice with a walk and a hit by pitch.
First pitch is a strike here. He'll look down to his coach in the third base box. See what they want to do with runners on the corners and 1 out. AppleSox looking for a double play ball to get out of the inning. As the 7th man has come to the plate here to face the Sox pitching staff. Tossed to the bag at first by Boyd. And back there safely is Peterson.
Hi, baby. Good job.
Boyd almost had the lead leg going towards home on that throw to first base. This pitch is swung on and fouled away in the count 0-2. And wouldn't Braden Boyd love a strikeout right here to DePaulo?
And these two may have faced each other in the past with DePaulo being from USC and Boyd being from WSU. They may have seen each other this year.
Could be. This pitch swung on, popped up, foul, and out of play. So the count stays at 0-2 here on Luca DePaulo, the catcher for the Elks. Another game tonight. Cowlitz has extended its lead over Bellingham at home tonight at Story Field. They lead it 2-0 over the Bells.
Good pitch there.
Swing and a miss, and just what the doctor ordered, a strikeout for the 2nd out. That's the 5th strikeout of the ball game, so that means the fans here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium get free swag. So they'll be tossing that out to the crowd here.
How do we get part of that?
Can't.
Oh.
Broadcast companies, their employees and affiliates are not eligible to win. First pitch to Ryan Christensen, misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Christensen 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out looking in the first and flew out to right in the third. Now left-handed batter's box. Red stained bat high above his head, and the pitch on the way to the plate is a little bit low for a ball. 2-0 the count. It's also where, as a pitcher, you're obviously, frustrated. You're giving up kind of weak singles here and there and a well-hit ball and trying to get out of an inning. And you don't get that call on a close call at the plate. But that was the question I was asking you. Being around pitchers, swinging a miss here. Count goes to 2-1. I've been around pitchers enough to know pitchers are a little different. They're a little
especially
different
left-handed pitchers.
Yes.
They wear their hat a little bit sideways.
They do, and they are curious cats. The 2-1 pitch bounces in. Good stop by the catcher. Runner from first will go to second on the wild pitch. Holding at third is Sakata. Good job by Carson Olin to block that ball. The count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of superstitions that go on with baseball players in general, but pitchers especially.
Well, and for pitching, it can be so mental.
Yes.
It's not just physical. There's a lot of mental going on there. 3-1 pitch is bouncing in for ball 4, so the bases are loaded here for the Elks. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Bennett Thompson. Well, what did I say about the wind?
I know.
Laying down. Yeah. I had to say something, didn't I? So Thompson is 0 for the game so far. It grounded out to second in the second and lined out to center to end the third. He'll be the 9th man to come to the plate here, and so far it's just a 3 spot, but Braden Boyd's got to keep it right there. He's got to get it out with this batter at the plate. Thompson in, Boyd ready, pitch on the way, is high and way away, and the count goes to 1-0. And we do have a right-hander warming up down in the bullpen for the AppleSox.
14, Joseph Rajo? Rajo?
I think it's Rajo.
Rajo.
I got that pronunciation guide here a little bit ago. This pitch is, oh my. I don't know how that missed, but it's ball 2. Rajo.
Yep.
2-0 the count here. Boyd trying to wheel a strike across the plate. And got a little help there. Swinging a foul back, and the count goes to 2-1. And that's also, we talk about the mental part of the game. And for Braden Boyd, fun to be here in front of people he knows and family and things like that, but that's also pressure.
It is pressure. And going back to getting a little bit of relief, he was, how many balls in a row was that? Was that 6 or 6 out of 7 balls that he'd thrown? And so he's kind of like, oh, thank you for swinging at that. And that,
now it's a strike call.
All it can take is one pitch, and your whole momentum. Yeah, exactly.
Whole world can change. All right, there is a strike. They do exist. 2-2 the count to Thompson. Bases jammed for Bend. 3 runs in for the Elks. In a 3-1 ball game. Pitch is swung on and fouled away, and keeping alive in there was Thompson. So the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Get you an update on the Mariner game, as that has gone to the top of the 4th. Minnesota now leads the Mariners 2-0. 2-2 count to Thompson, and it's low in the dirt. Nice stop by Olin. Count goes to 3-2. So no place to put Bennett Thompson if you're Braden Boyd.
And runners are going to be moving on the pitch, too.
Absolutely. 2 down in the inning. 9th man at the plate right now. A lot of pitches thrown by the Chelan product. Boyd in big, deep breath. Left-hander's delivery to the plate is low for ball 4, and another run will score.
They're quick to get out of the box, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Give an RBI to Thompson on the bases-loaded walk. That'll score Sakata from third base. 4 runs are in the frame. And we'll look down below us here to the dugout and see if we see a coach maybe coming out. Not yet. So Bend is batted around here in the 4th. we'll see Coach come out of the dugout, and we'll see a reliever possibly coming in from the bullpen area as the entire infield will get in on this conversation. And it will be a pitching change made. So our second pitching change made of the inning. We'll take a break and come back. It's a 4-1 Bend lead here in the fourth inning. We'll come back next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run camera so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's the Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I got to go figure out this camera.
Well, new pitcher in the ballgame for the Wenatchee AppleSox is Joseph Rajo. Rajo is out of Pflugerville, Texas. He attends Missouri Baptist College. He is a sophomore, and he will take over on the mound now for the Wenatchee AppleSox. And finding the numbers on Rajo here for the summer for the AppleSox. He has a record of 0-0, a 1.92 earned run average. He's only pitched in 4 2/3 innings. Has allowed just 1 run on 1 hit. Has 3 strikeouts, 3 walks in his 4 2/3 innings of work, making his 4th appearance of the summer for the Wenatchee AppleSox. So he will try to clean up a little mess here left by Braden Boyd. And he'll face the man who started off the inning what seems like a long time ago, Trey Nelson. A solo home run to lead it off against Felix Schlade, and that pulled Schlade out of the ball game, brought Boyd in. Boyd could get a couple outs, and that's it. So he's responsible for the bases jammed here as Trey Nelson steps up. And the first pitch to him by Rajo gets away from the catcher. The runner from third will break home. The throw home is not in time, and a run's going to score on the wild pitch. So that makes it 5 runs in the inning now for the Bend Elks as Peterson comes home to score on the wild pitch. Down to third goes Christensen. Thompson goes to second, and 1-0 the count here to Trey Nelson.
That's one of those things where the pitcher has got to beat the runner to home plate.
Right. Because you know as soon as you throw it, that's not good.
Yeah, there's trouble happening.
Yeah, exactly. The next pitch also misses for a ball. So 2-0 quickly to Trey Nelson. Hitter's pitch coming up to a guy who already has a home run this inning. And Rajo's pitch on the way is, I guess, a little inside for ball 3. And kind of adding to the atmosphere here is the smoke from the barbecue swirling behind home plate, creating a little haze here at the ballpark. 3-0 the count to Nelson with first base open. Wouldn't be a bad idea to walk him here. And he does not. That pitch is a taken strike, and the count goes to 3-1.
It's good to get that first strike. And as a hitter there, your thought process is this has got to be a ball I can hit out of the ballpark.
Exactly. Trey Nelson back in. The count 3-1 to him, and Rajo's pitch on the way is in the dirt for a ball. So another walk given up by the AppleSox pitching staff here. That is the 5th walk of the inning. Also been a couple of, 3 hits in the inning. So bases loaded again for Bend. And the Elks that, they're used to scoring a lot of runs. We were talking about it earlier. 33 runs in the last 3 games coming into this one. And now Braden Terry will step up. And the pitch to him is a fastball strike on the lower portion of the plate. 0-1 the count to Terry, who had a base hit kind of a little fungo that really got things going. The home run by Nelson, but then Terry, kind of a little fungo hit over the shortstop, Izzy Lopez, and that just exacerbated the situation for Braden Boyd. Pitch on the way here is a fastball low for ball one. So the 11th man to the plate here for Ben in this fourth frame. And Joseph Rajo trying to figure out how to get out of it. Pitch on the way, misses outside for ball two. 2-1, and you got to give credit to Ben. They're being very patient at the plate.
They are, yeah.
Making Wenatchee's pitching staff throw across the plate, and when they do, they've been able to put the ball in play. 2-1 to Terry here with the bases jammed. The pitch by Rajo. That is a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Fans here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium trying to give a little lift and a little support to the third pitcher of the inning here for Wenatchee to try to get this final out in a 5-1 ball game. Rajo ready, and the pitch on the way to the plate is a check swing. Strike three called, gone looking for the final out is Braden Terry, but not before the damage is done. 5 runs come in as 11 men come to the plate. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. It is a 5-1 lead for the Elks. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Baseball, the Symphony, Super Oval, and graduations are all community events we're proud to bring you on the NCWLIFE Channel. Coverage is made possible by Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Apple Barrel Bark, Castle Rock International Real Estate, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds, and more. Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. A reflection of and spotlight on the communities we call home. The NCWLIFE Channel.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Frankie Carney, Izzy Lopez, and Nick Putnam will come up here for the AppleSox in their part of the fourth inning. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Wenatchee with some work to do after giving up a 5 spot in the top half of this frame. Our coverage of AppleSox baseball brought to you in part by Together for Youth. They'd like to encourage you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. Well, Frankie is 0 for 1 of the ball game. He'll take the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count. Frankie Carney came up to lead off the second and grounded out to the third baseman on a play that he made look very, very easy.
Yeah, and if you remember from that at bat, Frankie dropped down a little bunt, and look at where the third baseman's playing now.
Yep.
So typically he's going to be playing back, but knowing the speed and the ability to bunt, he's got to play up, which gives better angles.
This pitch swung on and a hard hit ball into the gap, and it'll be caught. Beautiful diving play out there by Braden Terry.
That goes back to baseball's unfair.
Yes.
Because that ball was hit very well.
It was.
In multiple hits in that last inning.
Very solid struck ball. So with one down for the AppleSox, it brings up to shortstop Izzy Lopez. The senior Missouri State is 0 for 1 with a pop out to second in his first plate appearance in the second. And this pitch is a little bit high for a ball, off speed. 1-0 the count as Eric Valdez done a good job tonight. Still continues to pitch here for Bend. Shadows consuming about 3/4 of our infield portion of Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. This pitch swung on a miss by Lopez. The count even now to Izzy at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and he's only had 9 innings coming into this game.
Mm-hmm.
He's already on inning 4 here.
Pitch swung on and chopped off the plate, foul. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Izzy. Lopez with a couple of home runs for his credit. struggling a little bit at the plate for the summer. In 25 games, he's batting .212. 1-2 the count here in the fourth. The AppleSox trailing at 5-1. Valdez ready, and the pitch on the way is barely getting a piece of it. Fouling it off was Lopez, stays alive. You know, if you look at Valdez, he's got kind of almost a quick step on his delivery to the plate. You watch his lead foot, he'll draw that back to himself and then just do a quick step towards home. There it is. This pitch low for a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He kind of changes his shuffle from one pitch to the next. So you try to time it as a batter. You're trying to time everything. Swing and a miss here.
And that one, it was pretty quick.
It was.
Almost a quick pitch there.
Yes. So 2 down for the AppleSox. And that strikeout is the just second of the night. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, third. Third strikeout of the night for Mr. Valdez.
Oh, you're right.
Brings up the DH, Nick Putnam.
Had a hard hit double in the last at-bat.
Takes the first pitch here. And the count 1-0 on Nick. Redshirt freshman from UC Santa Barbara. Putnam's a big kid.
He is.
Swings and fouls the next pitch off. And the count even to Putnam at 1 ball and 1 strike. They list him at 6'6" and 195.
I can believe it.
No, I can believe that. Absolutely. They just grow them bigger these days. Swing and a miss here. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think about it now. I mean, I've played college football. There's no way I would play college football today.
Right?
I was little. Well, I wasn't very big back when I played, but 1-2 the count to Putnam. Valdez trying to get the AppleSox out in order here in the fourth. This pitch goes all the way to the backstop. Look out behind home plate. The ball, in fact, stuck between the padding and the net. Umpire's looking for the ball. Bat boy came out and says, well, I can't get that out of there.
It was like the other ball that was sitting right underneath the catcher's feet in, I think it was last inning. Just sitting there like, it's right below your feet.
Yeah.
Right below your feet. Looking all around for it.
Communication is so big in baseball.
Yep.
And that's what practice is for, gang. The 2-2 pitch here is low and outside for ball 3. So Putnam trying to get himself aboard with 2 outs here for the AppleSox. Reeve Boyd warming up on deck for Wenatchee, hoping for a chance here. I like these uniforms, by the way. AppleSox wearing their white uniforms trimmed in red and blue. Very patriotic. This pitch misses low for a ball.
Good at-bat right there.
Yeah, good battle. Fell behind and then was able to earn the 2-out walk. That is the second walk of the ball game given up by Valdez.
You know, talking about uniforms, you look out at the kids and just the pants that they're wearing. You know, you have some that are tight, go to their ankles, some that are tight that go to their knees, some that are loose go to their heels, and then you have kids that have them above their knee that are showing skin.
Yep. Pitch here is a strike call in the count 1-1. I still don't understand, and you've been a coach, the coach or the manager wearing a uniform.
Okay.
Do you know the reason for that?
It's because it's the only sport where the coach is actually in the field of play.
Okay. All right.
So
that makes sense.
And a lot of coaches used to be player coaches.
Right. Yeah,
so
I
that's
mean,
why
you
they'd
go
be
back
in
to
uniform.
the traditions. Yeah, you had a lot of coach players.
Yeah, but if you look at football, you're on the sidelines, so you're not in the field of play. Basketball, same, but baseball, you're actually in the field of play. So,
especially if you come out and coach third or first base.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I guess that makes sense. Still seems kind of silly. Did you ever feel silly putting the baseball pants on?
Felt normal.
You felt, oh, okay. Yeah.
But like softball, if you watch softball,
right,
they wear shorts and whatever.
Yeah. Pitch is swung on and fouled. You're talking about the coaching staff.
Right.
Yeah. Watch women's softball, things like that.
Yep. But then if you look at, like, basketball coaches, why are they wearing suits?
True. Hockey,
yeah.
I mean, they're always in a suit and a tie.
Yeah.
On the bench.
How would you like to see them in a uniform? Padded up.
Yeah, especially goalie outfit, yeah. 2-2 count to Boyd here with a runner at first and 2 down for the AppleSox. Valdez with the pitch, swung on, lifted in the air, and that's in the infield. And who's going to call for it? Wind is not as bad as it once was, and Peterson's able to negotiate that one and make the out for the final out of the inning. We'll head to the 5th. It is Bend leading at 5-1. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction is not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
To the 5th frame we go, and number 8, 9, and 1 batters do it for Bend, and they're part of the 5th. Maddox Maloney, Justin Sukata, and Tyler Peterson. You're watching AppleSox baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel tonight, and it's sponsored in part by some of our lovely providers, including the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Caught in a conflict with family, housing, business? Call Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center at 509-888-0957 for help. That's 509-888-0957. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. We're trying to snap a little string here for the TV station. Now, Wenatchee comes into today having lost only 11 games this season. We have broadcast 3 games this season, and we are 0-3 when we broadcast Wenatchee games, and now we find ourselves with Wenatchee trailing at 5-1.
Maybe we should say we're announcing the Bend game. See how that goes.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. First pitch is a ball to Maloney, and the next pitch is a swing and a miss, and the count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Maloney is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the second, walked and scored in that 5-run 4th inning, and that's the difference in a ball game right now. A couple of home runs in this one, but the wind is really starting to die down here. This pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. I guess I shouldn't say that out loud.
Right.
Goes back
every
to
time
the
we say it,
superstitions of baseball. So as a player, did you have any superstitions?
I had a shirt that I wore pretty much every game.
Like an undershirt?
Undershirt,
okay.
yeah. It was a.
All right. Did you wash it?
I did.
Oh,
I did wash it, yeah.
Okay, all right. So at least you didn't stank.
Right.
Right, okay. The 1-2 pitch here. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout. Big strikeout there, the second in relief for Rajo. 1 out here in the 5th for Wenatchee, and Justin Sukata will come up. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Popped out to short in the second, and an RBI single in the 4th. I played baseball. I was a catcher in high school, and I always had to have a piece of gum, 1 piece of gum.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter what kind of gum, but I just had to have some kind of piece of gum. And when I had bat, as the first pitch here is a strike call, and the count 0-1. When I went to the plate, I had to shove it in the upper left cheek along my gum line. Wouldn't chew it during the at-bat.
Really?
Chew it between, but would not chew it during the at-bat. But I had to shove it up in the left side. For whatever reason, that seemed to help. The count here. Quickly 0-2 on Sukata. Good control right here for Joseph Rajo in relief for the AppleSox. 5 strikeouts by the staff here in the game so far tonight.
Now, a guy I coached with over at Lake Stevens, he had a superstition of socks.
Oh.
And it... Ooh, that guy's fast.
That was close at first,
a lot
but
closer than it should have been.
4-3 on the putout. Second out here in the inning as Frankie Carney had to wait for that one to come down before he could field it, and is able to throw out in time. And back to the top of the order for Tyler Peterson. So Sox.
So Sox, yeah. So he had right-footed socks and left-footed socks.
Oh.
And he would wear like a brand new pair of socks. He'd put them on, and then it was determined which one's going to be the right foot and the left-footed socks. So he would take them out of the washer and look at them and hold them up and then go, okay, there's where my right big toe was, and there's where my left big toe was, and so they were
Wouldn't it be easier
determined.
to just take a Sharpie and mark it
Yep.
R and L?
Yeah.
Peterson behind in the count 0-1 here, as there's 2 downs for the Elks in the 5th, and this pitch misses low for a ball. 1-1 the count to Tyler Peterson. Peterson's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Strikeout to ground out and an RBI single to left. He also scored a run in that 5-run 4th inning. 1-1 the count to him here. Pretty good crowd on a Monday night here at the ballpark. And this pitch is a little outside for a ball. 2-1 the count to Peterson.
Well, it's a beautiful day for baseball.
Let's play 2.
That's right.
2-1 the count to Peterson here. And this pitch is a called strike. So Peterson takes a little saunter out of the left-handed batter's box with a count even to him at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Hoskins is waiting on deck here for Bend with 2 down in this 5th frame, and AppleSox trying to shut Bend out after getting up a 5 spot in the last frame. This pitch misses a little outside for a ball. Count runs full to Peterson at 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's one thing too. AppleSox have had to throw a lot of pitches in this game.
Yes, they have.
Rajo ready, and the pitch on the way is low for ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued here. We'll put Peterson at first base, and then I'll bring up shortstop Jake Hoskins.
Yeah, that's already their 4th time through the order. That's pretty quick for
that is
5th inning.
Yeah. Rajo, by the way, has, let's see, they don't have this correct on the stat site on Point Streak. Pitch here is a little bit inside for a ball to Hoskins. 1-0 the count. Oh, I guess that was his 16th pitch so far for Rajo in relief for the AppleSox. I still don't know if that's quite right.
Yeah, it feels like there's been more than that.
Yeah. And this pitch is taken for a strike, and the count 0-2 to Hoskins. Excuse me, 1-1. 1-1 the count to Mr. Hoskins. Let's see, he came in, walked the first man he faced, so there's 4 pitches there. Got a strikeout to end the inning, so that's 4-5 pitches, so that's 9-10. This pitch is in for a strike. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here on Jake Hoskins. I guess it could be about 17, 18 pitches. Well, now they've updated it. Okay, now it says 26 pitches.
That's more like it. I like
there
that.
we go. There we go. 1-2 the count to Hoskins. Rajo trying to finish it up here for Bend in their 5th, and he'll step off, and a little miscommunication between he and his catcher possibly. Shadows consuming the ballpark. Lights are going to start to take effect here pretty soon on a windy night of the ballpark. A 1-2 pitch is, oh my, missing just barely. Evens the count to Hoskins at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next AppleSox broadcast for us will be next week. We'll be back here on Tuesday against Bellingham. And then next Friday as well, the 28th, against Edmonton. This pitch swung on and hit in the air, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And when that ball came clear out towards Hennington out there in center field, but maybe he didn't get a good read on it.
Yeah, I don't think he did on that.
That ball just drops down in front of him, and around to third goes Peterson. So a 2-out single for Jake Hoskins, and Ben still dealing in the 5th as Luca DiPaolo will step up. DiPaolo is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, walked, and struck out. AppleSox on their 3rd pitcher of the night. You start a series and you want to keep guys, fresh as much as you can and keep a lot of arms available. So I'm sure that Coach Darlington would not like to have to go through a lot of arms here tonight.
Right.
In the opener of this 3-game set.
When you look down the first baseline for Bend, They look like they brought 100 kids to the game.
It does look like a lot of guys. This pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 to count to DePaulo. Another delayed call by our home plate umpire, Rick Freitas, tonight. Tyler Jettings is out there on the base paths. He's right now behind the pitcher off to his left. And this pitch swung on a hit hard, but right at the third baseman, bobbles it, picks it up, throws, and it is not in time at first base. The run's going to score. It's now 6-1. Boy, that was a close play.
That was.
Reese Boyd, a little problem with fielding the ball cleanly at third base, and that allows DePaulo to get aboard. I think they'll give an error on the third baseman there.
I would agree with that.
If he collects that cleanly, he's got the easy throw over to first. Well, never an easy throw across the diamond, but the potential.
Could have went to second base on that, too.
Right. So Ryan Christensen will step up, and this pitch swung on and belted down the right field line. Thankfully foul, because it went beyond the fence, I believe.
I think that went past the basketball gym over there. That ball was hit hard.
W.B. Smith Gymnasium just had incoming. 0-1 to count to Ryan Christensen, who is looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout to fly out and a walk. 0-1 count to him here. Rajo checks the runner at second. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on, and this one's hit hard, but foul.
He's timed him up very well, hasn't he?
You might want to throw something different. 2 balls that were absolutely demolished, and thankfully for Joseph Rajo, they were both foul. 0-2 to count. Ryan Christensen right now dialed in for the Elks. Standing in the left-handed batter's box. Runners at first and second, 1 run in, 6-1 ball game. Elks on top. Rajo with a couple of looks over his shoulder. Pitch to the plate high. Tried to get him to fish at 1, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Good idea there.
Yeah, I would like to see that more inside, though, because then you get the kid backing off the plate, and then you come up with a slow pitch on the outside half right here. And if he's disciplined as a hitter, you just sit back and
this pitch, strike 3 called. Gone looking is Christensen, but a little more damage done on the 2-out error, and a run scores. It's 6-1, Bend on top. You're listening and watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Well, looks like Jackson Bolander is going to take over on the mound here for the Bend Elks. Big right-hander will head to the mound here. Bolander, they don't list a college. They don't list anything for him other than they say that's who he is. So I'll believe it, because I will not disagree with this man, because he could take me out.
He's a big boy.
Eric Valdez goes 4 innings. Allows the 1 run, and that was earned on 2 hits. That was a solo home run by Carson Oland. He walked 2 and finished with 3 strikeouts in the ballgame. So Eric Valdez's night is done. Good job for the Bend Elks starter.
Yeah, he threw very well.
Jackson Bolander will take over. Let's see.
Get all of our paperwork figured out here.
Yeah, Bolander on the season has 1 save, a record of 0-0, an 8.1. No, excuse me, a 0 earned run average. He's pitched 8 1/3 for the Elks. He has an 8-to-1 strikeout ratio.
You always like to see those numbers, don't you?
Yeah. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk coming in. And he will face the bottom of the order to start it off for Wenatchee. MJ Sweeney, the number 8 hitter, will be followed by Carson Oland and Kyle Hennington. So 8-9-1 for Wenatchee here to face Jackson Bolander. Bolander is a stump of a human being out there on the mound right now. Pitch on the way to the plate, and that first pitch is a strike across the knees according to the home plate umpire on MJ Sweeney. 0-1 to count. Bolander's forearms look like most humans' calves. They're large. Pitch here misses for a ball.
He kind of catapults the ball too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Bolander with that scruffy beard from his face. Pitch on the way, bunted up the third baseline. That's a great bunt. Bolander off the mound's not going to have any chance of that one. Good play by MJ Sweeney to get aboard for a leadoff hit.
Well, that right there goes back to this kid's mountain of a man, and so is he going to be able to move very well. And we need some momentum.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wait, are we rooting for Ben now?
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
6-1 is our score. AppleSox get the leadoff man aboard for, I think, the first time of the ball game. Yes, it is. So Sweeney aboard. Brings up Carson Oland, who's got a home run tonight. Oh, wait, this might not be Carson Oland. Pitch misses, goes in the dirt all the way to the backstop. And down to second base on a wild pitch goes Sweeney.
Yeah, it's Carson.
Is it? Okay. All right. Couldn't see the number on his chest there for a minute. So Olin back in. Runner at second for Wenatchee. And 1-0 the count. Pitched by the big fella. Misses inside for ball 2. Jackson Bolander. Get you an update on the Mariners. Hey, good news, fans. Mariners have tied it in the bottom of the 5th, 2-2. Julio Rodriguez walked with the bases loaded to bring in the second run of the inning. Let's see how they scored the first run. Jose Caballero singled on a line drive to left field. That scored Teoscar Hernandez.
That's
this pitch swung on and hit back. The second baseman bobbles the ball. Safe at first on the play is Oland. And I don't know. I got to give him a base. Are you going to give him an error?
I think so. Because if he fields that cleanly,
he's out, right?
Yeah, he was out by quite a distance.
So we'll see what the scoreboard says here. Because that whole conversation happens between Joel Norman, the broadcaster for the AppleSox, and the scorekeeper up above. And we'll see how they score that here. Right now, it is not been scored. They've got 4 hits on the board for Wenatchee. And Wenatchee had 2 coming into this inning. So that would be ruled a hit then, apparently.
All right.
So base hit for Olin. Runners at the corners for Wenatchee. And the first pitch is high for ball 1 to Hennington. So Wenatchee a chance to get back on the board here a little bit. They trail it 6-1. This pitch swung on, and he was kind of reaching for one outside with that swing. Count even now to Hennington at 1-1 strike. Hennington is 0 for 1. He popped out to short and walked so far in the ball game this evening. I shouldn't have mentioned the wind.
I know, right?
I know. As soon as I mentioned, hey, it's laying down. No, it's not. This pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 2-1 to count. At Wenatchee having some success here against the big right-hander Jackson Bolander. Still nobody out here in the 5th. And the pitch by Bolander on the way to Hennington is swung on and missed, and the count goes even here at 2-2. So Wenatchee home for several games in a row here. The next 2 weeks basically here at home, and then they're basically on the road for the rest of the season. It's hard to believe July 30th is the last home game of the regular season for Wenatchee. This pitch misses low. Good eye by Hennington, and the count now runs full at 3-2.
Yeah, what they say, 12 home games in 15 days?
Yeah. Jared Kellenick, by the way, has singled to score 2 more runs. The Mariners have taken a 4-2 lead over Minnesota. So good news on that front. 3-2 count here with runners on the corners, and the pitch swung on and hit towards the ground. Second baseman will field, throw to second, and the ball goes off the glove of the shortstop covering, and everybody's safe. A run will score at 6-2.
Now, who do you give that air to?
So that's a fielder's choice, and I'd say an E4 on the throw.
I think so.
So Sweeney scores. Safe at second is Olin on the fielder's choice E4. At first is Hennington on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up right fielder Mason Strong. Strong's 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a soft line out to center. 1 run in for the AppleSox. Still nobody out, by the way. And this pitch gets off the catcher, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet. I'd give that a pass ball because that hit him right in the glove.
I agree. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there because you see the catcher come out here and say, wait a second, what are you throwing me that for? Because that's what you showed.
I put down a 2. Luca DiPaolo out there to talk to his pitcher. Well, and we talked before the ball game about needing a sweatshirt tonight.
Yes.
I think there's going to be a half inning here where I'll be donning the sweatshirt for sure. So the AppleSox have runners at second and third, and a 1-0 count to Mason Strong. So a chance for Strong to pick up some ribbies here for Wenatchee. And the pitch on the way by Bollinger is a little high for ball 2. AppleSox dugout below us trying to make some chatter here for Mason Strong at the plate. The pitch on the way swung on and loops that one foul and out of play, and the count goes to 2-1.
It'd be nice to get both of these guys plated for this inning. You know, if you can cut it to 2, things look a lot better than when you're down by 5.
It's only the 5th.
Yeah.
It's only the 5th. A lot of ball to be played here. Bollander's next pitch on the way is in the dirt low for ball 3. First base is open. Brandon Ponce waiting to pounce on deck. See what I did there?
You did. That was good. Play on words.
3-1 count to Strong. Pitch swung on.
Good at bat.
Reached it 1 and kept himself alive. And so the count goes to 3-2. That ball, by the way, clanged off of the light stanchion that's right behind the first base dugout. Ricocheted out onto the field of play. 3-2. The count here to Mason Strong. Right fielder for the AppleSox trying to make a dent in that scoreboard. This is now a 6-2 ball game. Pitch swung on a chop towards the left side of the infield. Third baseman will field, and he will throw away.
Scores 2 runs.
And another run's going to score for Wenatchee on the throwing error. And so Bend helping out the cause here.
Yes, definitely.
E5 will score Olin as well as Hennington. As the wind howls at our microphones here, the winds of change howling at the ballpark as well. Strong ends up down at second base on the play. So it's now 6-4. Completely different ball game in a matter of just a few pitches.
Right.
It's amazing how that can happen.
Well, and we talk about baseball being a game of momentum, and you know that was a questionable call on the ground ball to the second baseman.
Right.
I called it an error. You called it a hit. They called it a hit.
Right.
And then the next play, error.
Right.
Next play,
error.
Another error.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And it's it's one thing if that happens to the same defensive fielder.
Right.
It happened to everybody around the infield so far. First baseman's the only one not to have an error so far in this inning.
Yeah. Maybe we can fix that.
So error on the batted ball by Mason Strong, and that's one of those plays here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. If you're not used to playing third base, that ball could take an interesting hop on you, and it could definitely slow down, is what it did right there to the third baseman Maddox Maloney. This pitch to Ponce is ball one. And you got to kind of feel for the reliever here for Bend, Jackson Bolander. They haven't really hit the ball hard.
No. Well, it's the same thing with Braden Boyd, right? He came in and threw well. Nothing. There was one hard hit ball on him, but it just wasn't his day. Right. Again, baseball being unfair.
Yeah, that's true. But Brandon Pomps has the count at 1-1 right now for Wenatchee, looking for his first hit tonight. Go ahead.
But for all those unfair days, you're going to have days where you get lucky, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And as they say, well, back in the days when newspapers played more of a part in baseball than probably anything else, a single in the paper the next day looks like a line drive.
Yep. Hit it so hard off the right center field fence that you could only ricochet back.
Yeah. Came right back to the right fielder. 2-1 the count here to Brandon Ponce. Washington State Cougar in there and check swing. Did he check it? No, he didn't. And the count even to him at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ponce back in the right-handed batter's box with Mason Strong out there. Some wheels at second base. The check of him by Bolander, and a pitch on the way, swung on and hit back off the mound.
Great play.
Second baseman, throw to first base. Is in time.
That was a great play right
Brandon
there.
Ponce can't believe it.
I thought that was going to be a base hit up the middle and maybe score this run right here.
Tyler Peterson with a spectacular play to get to the ball first of all, and then be able to straighten up and throw over to the bag at first, and apparently in time according to the base umpire out there. And so 4-3 goes the put out. And that's the first out of the inning for the AppleSox. That'll bring up Frankie Carney. Mason Strong, by the way, ends up down at third base on the play, and the first pitch to Carney is a strike called 0-1. That was close. It was a very close play at first base. And that umpire is a heck of a lot closer than I am. 0-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner, and Frankie Carney did not like that call at all, thought that pitch was outside. Frankie back in the left-handed batter's box as the AppleSox have drawn to within 2 here, 6-4. They got another duck on the pond 90 feet away. This pitch is inside for ball 1.
He's hit the ball hard both times up today.
I'm sure Bend would probably give up the run to get the out here. I don't know, 6-4 ball game, maybe not.
Yep.
Infield is back. Pitch is swung on and cued off the end of the bat, foul up the third baseline, so the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, and especially being your number 4 hitter. Now, here's one where I wouldn't have mind seeing him drop one down the third baseline.
Right.
He's capable of doing it.
And
the third baseman's back
of the bag.
And we've talked about the pitcher being the mountain of a man there.
1-2 the count, swung on and hit.
Instead, he'll just get a base hit.
Single works at the left fielder, dropped the ball. Rounding first, holding at first base is Frankie Carney, giving him an RBI, and the Sox are down by 1, 6-5. So Mason Strong comes home to score on the play. Still only 1 out for the AppleSox as they bring Izzy Lopez to the plate. Izzy's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. And a toss to the bag at first, and that was a closer play than it needed to be. Frankie Carney back to the bag in time. Carney, by the way, with 3 swipes on the summer. And a pitch here swung on and hit hard, and that's going to get through for another base hit for Wenatchee. A couple of seeing eye singles to the left side of the infield in a row for Wenatchee. Has put runners at first and second base. That'll bring up the 8th man in the inning for Wenatchee offensively in Nick Putnam. Putnam, the 1 ball he's hit in the ball game was well struck, double. Back in the 2nd, he walked in the 4th on a beautiful at bat. where he got behind in the count and earned himself a walk. Now he's up there with 1 out and 2 on. Our wind swirling from left to right here at the ballpark. Pitch on the way, swung on, and hit the air to right field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading for home is Carney, and the game is tied at 6-6.
Game of momentum right there.
Hits for Wenatchee. Lopez ends up at third on the play. Give an RBI to Putnam. And just like that, we're tied. Putnam with his 7th RBI of the summer, driven in right there. And the pitch here is taken for a ball.
Stolen
Meanwhile,
base.
Down to second base goes Putnam on the play. 1-0 to Reeve Boyd. Reeve, the 9th man to come to the plate here in the inning for the AppleSox. He's 0 for 2 with a line out and a pop out. Again, just 1 down for Wenatchee. Pitch on the way is high for ball 2. Fly ball would give the Sox the lead here suddenly.
Yeah. Who would have thunk it?
5 runs in for the AppleSox in the inning. And the pitch by Bolander swung on and hit to the right side. That goes off the first baseman to the second baseman. They throw over first and it goes into the dugout. 2 runs are going to score.
Is that the third error of the inning right there?
Officially the 3rd error of the inning. That's a tough play.
Ricocheted off the first baseman to the second baseman.
Yeah, Thompson, the first baseman, had a glance off of his glove. It was a nice play by Peterson, the second baseman, to get it. But then, as we talked about, the big fella a little slow getting over to the first, and the throw just goes
Who was covering the base on that? Because the first baseman looked like he was going back, and a little bit of miscommunication.
So that's going to go down as an error probably on the second baseman on the throw. Unfortunately, I mean, it really, he threw it to the bag, but there was nobody at the bag.
You know what? They might have given that a hit. Because I only see 2 errors up there.
Interesting. Well, let's see.
Well, they have to give an error on him advancing, right? So call it a hit with an error.
With an error?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for that. Pitch swung on a foul. Look out. Goes towards the dugout on the first base side. So if you give him a base hit, then you have to give him an RBI as well.
Right.
And then E4 on the throw to move him down to second, and that would allow the second run to score. Because that's a dead ball at that point.
Right.
And the runner was running to third on the play. AppleSox have batted around here in their 5th. Pitch swung on and hit to the right side and through for another base hit. Rounding third and heading for home. The throw is going to be cut off and another run scores. Wenatchee extends the lead. RBI single for M.J. Sweeney for the AppleSox.
You got to feel for that pitcher because he's had 3 errors in this inning.
And then just Wenatchee got hot and batted around, and 8 runs are in the inning. Or is it 7 runs? 7 runs are in the inning. It's an 8-6 ball game. We will take it back as they make a pitching change after the 60-second timeout. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places, we have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. I was right before we went to the break. I said 8 runs in the inning, and that is the case. 9-6 is our score. Wenatchee with an 8 spot here in the 5th, and they've got a new pitcher on the mound, does the Bend Elks. Now, the question is, we're trying to figure out who it is, as he is not on either roster that we were able to find for Bend. His number is 52. Unfortunately, point streak and the rosters that are online does not include a name. Now on Point Streak, the live game app says it's Buchanan.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
That sounds good to me.
I don't know. Let's see here. Where's a Buchanan on
Shane Buchanan.
Okay. 6'3", 165-pound right-hander, and I'd say, yeah, that's pretty close to what he looks like out there. A sophomore out of Mount Hood Community College. So Shane Buchanan will take over here for Jackson Bolander. And you were talking during the break about how Mr. Bolander just skipped going into the dugout, went right down to the bullpen area.
Yeah, he was none too happy. Rightfully so.
So just 1 out for Wenatchee, by the way, still in this frame. And Carson Olin will take the first pitch for a ball from Buchanan. So right now, Jackson Bolander only was able to go 1/3 of an inning. In relief here for Ben. Pitch on the way, swung on it, hit to the right side. First baseman down to a knee, throws out to second, off the bag. Oh, they're going to say he's out.
Ooh.
Oh my, oh my. And coach is going to ask for some help here. Darlington's asking the home plate umpire to get a little help out there to the base umpire, because it looked for all intent and purpose that the runner at second was safe.
Yeah.
Bad throw by the first baseman. Pulled the shortstop off the bag. It looked to us anyway.
And you look out there at the shortstop. And
and they're going to say that Sweeney is out. So,
truly the home plate umpire shouldn't even be watching that play.
Right.
You know, his eyes got to be down to the first base line.
Right, right. So a fielder's choice, 3-6 for the second out. So Olin is aboard at first base, and back to the top of the order for Wenatchee for Kyle Hennington. The first pitch by Buchanan to Hennington is swung on and fouled back. The count 0-1. Second time up this inning for Kyle. That's really when the wheels started falling off the apple cart for Bend. Is Hennington's at-bat and a fielder's choice and an error on the second baseman, and it just continued from there. Pitch on the way is in the dirt for a ball. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, we started off with the great drag bunt and then followed it up with the base hit and then error.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then seeing eye single,
Yep.
another single and an error. This pitch is swung on a hit to the right field, but right at the right fielder. And that'll finally retire the side, but not before Wenatchee puts an 8 spot on the board, and they lead at 9-6 as we head to the 6th inning. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
I
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run camera so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I got to go figure out this camera.
Jaden Williamson will take over on the mound here for the Wenatchee AppleSox, as Wenatchee's now suddenly in the lead after trailing. It looked like it was not going to be a good night for the Sox as they trailed 6-1, but then came back with 8 runs in the 5th inning to lead it now 9-6 as we head to the 6th. Bennett Thompson, Trey Nelson, and Braden Terry will come up against the new pitcher of record here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. And again, this is Jaden Williamson. And I'll try to get some information on Mr. Williamson for his season so far for Wenatchee. And I don't know that I will. Yes, I will. He is 0-1 on the season, a 2.45 earned run average, making his 7th appearance of the summer for Wenatchee. He's pitched 18 1/3 innings so far. Has allowed, well, not a lot, as a matter of fact. 5 runs, 7 hits. And his innings of work so far for the AppleSox. Again, a 2.45 earned run average for Williamson. Trying to shut the door here on the Bend Elks. As Joseph Rajo, close the book on him, he goes an inning and a third as Jaden Williamson now takes over for Wenatchee.
Rajo came in and did a really good job.
Yes, he did. He stopped the bleeding. Jaden, by the way, a junior out of Lower Columbia College. Decided to stay close to home to play his college ball after graduating from Longview. The pitch on the way here is a first pitch strike. We're back to that.
There we go.
Right,
FPS.
Bennett Thompson leading it off here for the Elks as they are in the 6th inning, now finding themselves trailing by 3. Pitch by Williamson is a check swing. They appeal. He did not go. And a count even to Thompson at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, it's amazing how some people will get up on the mound and they'll throw extremely hard, but you can tell that they're putting max effort in, and then other people are just so fluid and are effortless and throw it mid-80s.
Right.
And this kid here looks like he's an effortless guy that's going to throw hard. And it looks effortless, but it's because his mechanics are so well,
And that goes back to coaching, and that goes back to all the advantages that kids have nowadays at a young age to get the proper instruction on form.
Right.
And, camps and clinics and special training sessions and things like that. Pitch misses just low for a ball. 3-2 the count here to Bennett Thompson.
He wanted that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Thompson is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Walked with the bases loaded, and strike 3 called. Ooh, and that never goes over well with the umpire when your batter starts running out of the box towards the first base, and it's strike 3.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about all night long, is they get out of the box quick on what they think is ball 4, which is great to show hustle.
Sure.
But it's kind of showing up the umpire at the same time.
Showing up the umpire, which is never a good thing.
Many umpires are very egotistical, so you don't want to try and show them up because they'll show you that you're in charge.
Yes. Pitch here is a strike to Trey Nelson.
And truly, you have to be confident in yourself as an umpire, because nobody in the crowd is going to agree with you.
No one's ever going to agree with you. Unless it's for their team.
Right. And that's where they're going to the AI. Everything's AI now. And they're talking about going to an AI strike zone.
That's tough.
The traditionalist says it is tough, but how many games have been won or lost by a bad call?
This is true. Well, and you watch it in the major leagues now, especially swing and a miss here by Trey Nelson. So how about this? Relief effort by Jaden Williamson, back-to-back strikeouts. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Brings up Braden Terry. But how many times, they show you that graphic on TV now where you're watching the strike zone, and you see that consistently where I'm looking at home, I'm like, how did he not, how is he calling that pitch? It's outside that far.
Yeah.
He's calling it a strike. Well,
because the ball's coming in at 95 miles an hour or 102.
Right. And, the human element.
Right.
And that's the traditionalist that says, you got to keep that human element in there.
Yeah. But then you go back to, I can't remember who was pitching and threw a perfect game.
Oh, yeah.
And the umpire called him safe. And any form of replay would have showed that he was out by a significant amount.
The good part about that was, and I think that was the Tigers, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Where the umpire apologized afterwards. He says, I blew it. I got it wrong.
Yeah.
But
in the record books, though, it still doesn't say that guy's name for throwing a perfect game.
Right.
Which there's only been, I think,
26.
Is it 26?
Yeah, we just had our 26 with the Yankees here earlier this season.
And the previous one was Felix.
Which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
Pitch here is a strike call. The count goes to 3-1 on Braden Terry.
And that was, 11 or 13 years ago?
That was, 2012, I think.
Yeah, so 11 years ago.
Yeah.
That
was on my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, happy.
Fly ball to left center, and it's going to hang up here, thankfully, for Kyle Hennington to make a play. So how about the relief effort here by Jaden Williamson? He retires Bend in order. Momentum stays with the Sox. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-6 Wenatchee on top. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Mason Strong, Brandon Ponce, and Frankie Carney due up here for the AppleSox to face Shane Buchanan, the third pitcher of the game tonight for the Bend Elks. Get you up to date on some other scores of games happening right now. Cowlitz leads Bellingham in the bottom of the 7th inning, 4-1 in that one. And for the Mariners, they lead Detroit heading into the 7th, 5-3.
Nice.
The Mariners tonight.
There we go.
Need to get that win. The Twins, interesting that they put 8 runs on the board tonight because 2 of the best pitching teams in Major League Baseball facing off at T-Mobile Park tonight. So Mason Strong leads it off here in the 6th for Wenatchee. AppleSox trying to bounce back after losing 3 over the weekend and get back on the winning track here at home at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. First pitch misses Strong, 1-0 the count.
Well, and like we said, what a game of momentum.
Yeah, and there's been many shifts in this one. Next pitch misses and bounces all the way to the backstop, 2-0 the count. If you're just joining us, Wenatchee got the early lead in this one on a solo home run by Carson Olin back in the 3rd inning. It was 1-0 until the 4th, and that's when Ben brought 11 batters to the plate. They scored 5 runs in the frame and led it 5-1. Then they added another run in the 5th to lead it 6-1, and that's when Wenatchee came up in the bottom of the 5th and had their own bat-around session, scored 8 runs in the frame, and that's where we are right now at 9-6. 2-1 pitch, swung on and hit hard but foul up the third base line. So the count goes to 2-1.
And this kid is about the exact opposite of their last pitcher.
Bollinger, yeah. Jackson Bollinger probably went about 3 bills out there.
Yeah.
And Shane Buchanan built like a 2-iron. This pitch swung on a hit back off the mound and will leak into center field for a base hit. Leadoff hit for Mason Strong. Second time aboard in a row.
You know, I've said many a times, ooh, there you go. But yet that second baseman,
yes, this is true.
He has so much range.
He does. He's very, very fleet of foot.
Yeah.
Is Tyler Peterson. So 1 on for the AppleSox. They get the leadoff man aboard here for the second inning in a row. And that'll bring up Brandon Ponce. Brandon looking for his first safe hit to the game. He's 0 for 3. And the pitch by Buchanan is outside for ball 1. Brandon struck out in the first. He hit into a fielder's choice to the shortstop in the third and grounded out to second.
And that was the questionable call that he didn't like the call, but it was a great play by the second baseman. As we were just talking about Peterson having so much range, he went up the middle. And
well, to get to the ball was one thing,
right.
And then to make that throw to first base was just incredible.
Yeah.
And it was a bang-bang play at first base, and you know, I got to give credit to the umpire because he's way closer than I am.
Right.
So 2-0 the count here to Ponce, so a hitter's pitch coming up. Big hole on the right side of the infield if he wants to go the other way. And the pitch here is in the dirt, and thinking of heading to second was Mason Strong, but he'll hold there on a 3-0 count. It's one thing about the difference between, you know, the collegiate level and Major League Baseball as well. You know, we talked about the pitch clock that they have, but also the reuse of baseballs.
Yes.
I mean, just simply efficiently using time. Swinging a miss here by Ponce, and the count goes to 3-1. I mean, you're not wasting all that time getting another baseball.
Right.
Having the bat boy come out and give the umpire 4 new baseballs.
Yep.
And, you know, this is 20 years ago that Paul Harvey said the average pitch, the average ball in Major League Baseball lasts 1.7 pitches.
Yeah.
Today, it's got to be
less than that. Yeah. Because Paul Harvey's been gone for a while, right?
Thanks, Brandon, for bringing up how old I am.
And now here's the rest of the story.
So a walk given up to Ponce here. A couple of runners aboard for the AppleSox will bring up Frankie Carney.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that played for me, and he's now the clubhouse manager of the Spokane Indians, and he's in charge of all the baseballs and rubbing them down.
Sure.
And he told me that they rub down like 10 dozen baseballs a game for the Spokane Indians.
A game?
Yeah, a game. Now, the Mariners, they're going to use more balls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, it's incredible how much money is spent on baseballs.
And to let people know, too, is that Major League Baseball and, you know, down the line, AAA, I'm not sure how far it goes, but they have a staff. This pitch is bunted up the first baseline, and it checks up like a beautiful pitching wedge into the green from 25 yards out. Stops on a dime. Everybody's safe.
And there's that bunt that he showed earlier.
Yep.
As a 4-hitter, you've got the capabilities to drop down a bunt. That's a great tool to have.
It's huge. And then especially being a left-handed batter.
Yes.
And get yourself on a running start to first base.
Yep.
Just huge. So the bases are jammed for Izzy Lopez here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. Izzy steps up. First pitch to him misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count. So, Coach, at one point in a game when it's a little different, obviously high school level versus what you got going on here with a 3-game series here over the next 2 nights. At what point do you go, okay, let's just stick with who I got out here? You know, if you're talking about Bend, a high fly ball to right field, by the way. Runner's going to tag and will score on the play. Give a sacrifice fly to Izzy Lopez. It's now 10-6 Wenatchee.
Well,
at what point do you go, okay, this one's pretty much out of reach. I'm just going to finish the game, and then we'll regroup, come back tomorrow.
Yeah, and you're saying leave a guy in,
right,
and just say, hey, sorry, your ERA is going to be horrible for the rest of the year.
Right.
Sometimes you have to do that. It's unfortunate for the kid, but you have to save arms. We played in a tournament this last weekend down in Yakima, and we had a situation where it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to pitch, and yes, you're not having a good outing right now, but we have to save our dudes for the next. Yeah,
right.
So this game is still in reach, right?
Right.
But if it gets out of reach, I don't know. A lot of this might be off of pitch count too,
right?
Because their college coach.
Oh, sure.
Good pickoff
Runner
here.
for first is caught in a rundown. Let's see if they're going to save him.
Scoring.
And the run scores. Meanwhile, the runner is still going between first and second, and they do get him on the putouts. But Ponce will come home to score on the play. Gives the fans a little fun. But caught stealing is Frankie Carney. And that's going to go one. Let's see. Caught stealing 1, 3, 6, 3, 4. I think it's how that went.
One got back in there.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then it was 1, 3, 6, 1, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Now that right there was a great effort play by Frankie Carney.
Yeah, to stay alive, to allow the runner to go home from third.
Yep. But going back to it, you have to know pitch count of your pitchers, because that's a big thing that has been put into play is limiting the number of pitches. It used to be off of innings, which was a silly thing because you could go out and you could throw one pitch. Well, that's considered an inning. Or you could throw, like Bolander did, you could throw
26 pitches.
Yeah, or 50 pitches.
Yeah, 50 pitches.
Yeah.
Right. Curveball here misses high to Nick Putnam. 2 down in the inning, by the way, for the AppleSox, and 2 runs are in. It's now 11-6, and a 1-2 count on Nick Putnam.
So, to answer your question, it totally depends on the situation that you're in.
And what you have, and you talked about, it looks like Ben brought 100 guys here.
Right.
I mean, are the majority of those guys arms that are ready to go for the rest of the series?
Right.
We don't know that sitting here.
When did they pitch last? How many pitches did they throw last?
2-2 the count here to Putnam with 2 down in the inning and 2 on for the AppleSox, and he'll swing and miss. That'll do it. But Wenatchee adds a couple of more as we'll head to the 7th frame here at the ballpark. It is a 12-6 lead for Wenatchee. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Maddox Maloney, Justin Sukata, and Tyler Peterson do up here in the 7th for the Bend Elks, who find themselves, I errantly said 12 when we headed to the break. It's 11-6, Wenatchee up by 5. And you don't say anything about where the game is right now. You don't say anything about how it might finish because baseball has no limitations.
Right. Yep, no time limit. No. That's for sure.
Jaden Williamson, who retired Bend in order in the 6th, is a reliever for Wenatchee, will come out and work here in the 7th for the AppleSox and face Maddox Maloney, who's 0 for 2 in the game with a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a run scored. Some crooked numbers in this one here tonight. First pitch is a strike call, and the count 0-1 to Maddox Maloney. It seems that both dugouts have had little belly aching going on with the strike zone.
I think so, yeah.
It's kind of been equal opportunity.
Yes.
Grown here tonight.
And again, we are used to watching the Mariners play.
Yes, and watching professional umpire crews.
And they are, it's kind of like the players. They are the best in the world, right?
Right.
So we get these guys that are good umpires.
Right.
I would love to have them for a high school game.
Yeah.
And they'd probably do very well, and there'd be no complaints because, they're going to miss, but it happens.
Yes. Was it World Series last year where that umpire almost had a perfect game calling the game when they do the review?
Right.
I think it was World Series
I think so.
last year.
Yeah.
1-2 the count here to Maddox Maloney, that is. And the pitch swung on and hit hard, and that's going to go through into left field for a base hit. So a good swing put on it there by Maloney. That's his first hit of the night. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Justin Sukata.
And we were just talking about Blakeney, who is a
Ryan
Blakeney, a local kid that decided to give his a shot at going and umpiring. Now he's umpiring in the big leagues and umpired in the All-Star game. And I remember when he was umpiring in high school.
Yep.
Doing our high school games.
Yep. And he umpired here doing AppleSox games.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Swing and a miss by Sukata. And the count 0-1 to Justin, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit and an RBI back in that 5-run fourth inning for Ben. Pitch on the way to him here is a strike. 0-2 the count to Sukata. 1 on, nobody out. Top of the 7th in an 11-6 ball game. Got the kids gathering over behind our camera crew on top of the first base dugout, getting ready for the 7th inning stretch. And the AppleSox Kids Choir bouncing in
Good
here.
pick.
Beautiful stop by Putnam. Throw down to second base is not in time. The ball bounces and gets away from the second baseman. I should say Olin with the throw down to second base. So that is going to be an advance on, call it a wild pitch? I guess it is.
Well, he picked it.
He did.
I think I'd just give the kid a stolen base.
You would? Okay.
I think so.
All right.
That's the thing too, is like
subjection.
Yes.
Everything's subjective.
Right.
You know, how do you rule that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you see it?
Right.
1-2 the count. Meanwhile, to Sukata with a runner in scoring position. This game's a long way from it over here, gang. Pitch on the way to the plate is a little inside for ball 2.
Yeah.
I see no activity down in the AppleSox bullpen, by the way.
Speaking of baseballs, we would we would use the ball, we'd get a cut on it. We'd rip it off and try and rub it in. Here, if there's
we talked about it. So the Major League Baseball, they have people hired specifically that one of their jobs when they get to the ballpark hours before the game starts is to rub up the baseballs.
Right.
And there's a certain mud that they're supposed to use, the Mississippi mud, right?
It used to be, yeah. Now they've changed it, I guess. But.
And but all the balls have to be rubbed down that you're going to think you're going to use in a ball game. Now, when you get to the field here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, the umpires rub up the balls.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and they're going to go through, they'll probably go through, I would guess, 2 dozen?
Probably, yeah. So how many are in a box? Is it a dozen in a box?
Yep.
I think they prep 4 dozen balls.
For these games?
For these games,
okay.
if I'm remembering correctly. Because Russ Waterman used to be an umpire at this level, and I know he still umpires collegiately, doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
2-2 the count remains on Sukata here with a runner at second base and nobody out in the 7th for Bend. Swing and a foul back, and quite a battle here going on between Williamson and Sukata.
Now, I've been watching this all game long. The umpire in the field, he is like, as the pitch is going, he reaches back. I'm thinking he's calling a balk, but it appears to me like that's the pitch clock.
Oh, so
that he's got on his belt.
The home plate umpire isn't running the pitch.
So watch, see how he touched there the belt.
Okay.
So I was thinking he was getting ready to call a balk the whole time, or he had like an OCD thing that he had to go back and touch.
But he does have a little device, it looks like, on the clip of his belt.
Yep.
3-2 to count here is Sukata. Williamson ready, and the pitch on the way.
Nice
Strike
pitch.
3 called, and gone is Sakata. And that's 3 or 4 times that a Bend batter has assumed it's a ball and heading towards first, and then had a little demonstrative fit in foul territory.
Yeah.
At what point does the umpire say, you know what, I'm tired of this?
Right.
So a strikeout looking.
As soon as words are said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's another thing for umpires and for, all levels of officials. It's a thankless job, number one. And then to have to put up with the being berated by coaches, by players, by fans, by parents, at all levels of sports. It is a tough job.
And it's not okay, but it's understandable at some stage of the game, because you go out there and you're giving your best effort as a player or as a coach, and you feel like you're getting cheated. And so why am I going out there giving my best effort, and umpire is
less than
in your mind,
in your opinion,
right. So that's where that can be frustrating.
And you talk about what's happening now with the shortage of officials at the high school level, the prep level, and things like that. I officiated football for 10 years with the local Chelan County Association, and we would recruit, and we would try to get new officials to come in. And, of course, how you work it is you give those officials a lower-level game. So you give them like a freshman football game to officiate. And you have parents and you have coaches that are absolutely screaming at these younger people that are brand new to it. Why in the world would you want to keep doing that?
Exactly. Well, I do the play clock for football for Eastmont. And I just got a notice that one of our games that was supposed to be on a Friday at 7 o'clock got changed to Saturday at 5 because there's not enough officials.
Not enough officials. And if you look at it here geographically, and this is a problem around the country, not just here in Washington State, not just here locally, but look how many high schools you have here in the north central Washington region that are covered by for example, the Chelan County Football Officials Association.
Right.
You get Eastmont at home on a Friday night, Wenatchee at home on a Friday night, Cashmere at home on a Friday night, Cascade at home on a Friday night, Entiat at home on a Friday night, Waterville at home on a Friday night. You start adding that up.
Yeah.
You don't have enough bodies.
No.
It just can't happen.
Then you go Manson and Chelan and
Yes.
I mean, the list goes on of the small towns around here.
Right. 0-2 the count to Hoskins as we've been talking about officiating. A couple of runners aboard here for Bend. Tyler Peterson worked a walk to get on board. He's over there at first base. Maddox Maloney at second base.
He's got a good jump at.
Williamson's pitch to the plate is low for a ball.
He was wanting to go there at second base. Getting them timed up.
AppleSox on top, 11-6. 11. It is 11-6.
Yep.
It's hard to keep track of what's going on here. They've only got 10 on the scoreboard here for point streak. This pitch swung on and cued foul, and it'll be another 1-2 pitch coming up. Got 11 on the scoreboard here, but we've had that before with a broadcast that we did a couple of games ago where the scoreboard was not accurately reflecting the actual score of the game.
Really?
Yes.
And you have 11-6 in your score
I've got 11-6 in my score sheet.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait a minute here.
That ball.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Yep.
So I've got 11-6.
I was saying getting timed up. So a lot of times, especially at the lower level, you'll see pitchers and they, we talk about routine, you putting your gum up where it was, and people get in a time routine. And so pitchers they'll go over their looks. So a guy will look once at home plate, look back to the runner, look back to home plate, look back to the runner, look back to home plate, and then pitch. So we'll call that a 2. And then you go off of timing. So This was taught to me by Ed Neggs back when I was playing.
So is this runner, as we're looking from center field here, number 7 off of second base.
Yep. So he's trying to get the timing of the pitcher here. So we'll look at his looks here, and then as soon as he takes his last look, you'll start saying UCLA. So it was a route. I don't know if it came from UCLA or not, but it's
a timing issue.
Yeah. And so people will be able to steal bases off the pitcher because they'll have the consistent look, and then they'll go with the timing after the last look that they'll go.
So that's why as a pitcher you want to change things up.
So here's 1. So that would be a 1 with no, 1 no. You know, so it's 1 look, and then he's just immediately lift and go into the plate.
Sure.
So we'll see if he changes it up here.
Runners at first and second for Bend. 1 out in the inning, and a battle here between Williamson and Hoskins at the plate. 2-2 the count.
So there's 1, and there he goes again. So he's consistently going that 1, and as soon as he turns his head, he's going to the plate. So as a runner at second base, if you're looking to steal a base right here, and see he's pointing to his coach, he's pointing to his coach right there that he's got the look. So so I think he's got a 1 look right here. So let's watch this kid. He's got 1 look, and then head goes away, and he's going to the plate. So there it was again. So I think 7's got his time.
Well,
yeah. So we'll see if he ends up taking this base. But you got 1 out, and you're down by 5. Is it worth taking a chance to steal the base?
Well, and the gamesmanship that also goes between pitcher and catcher here, because the catcher knows that that's also going on. Double play chance for the AppleSox. They throw to second to get the force out there, and that's all they're going to get. A little bobble by Frankie Carney out there at second. So Hoskins aboard on a fielder's choice, 6-4. Peterson is out for the second out, and down to third goes Maddox Maloney. And with 2 outs, that brings up catcher Luca DePaula. But you've got the pitcher. Catcher is also looking at what's going on and going, okay, I can't have you throw a soft pitch, can't throw a changeup, can't throw a curveball here, because that's going to give that guy more opportunity to get down the base path.
Yep. Well, and many times, if not all times, that you steal third base, it's going to be off the pitcher.
Right.
If you steal second base, that's going to be off either the pitcher or the catcher.
Right.
Because you can steal a bag off the catcher if he's got, we call it a pop-to-pop time. So a good pop-to-pop time is going to be a really good one. At this level is probably going to be 2, or an exceptional one's going to be like 1.8, and so that just means 1.8 seconds by the time it hits a catcher's glove until it touches the shortstop or second baseman's glove.
Running from first will hold. The pitch is in the plate for a ball. 2-0 the count here to Luca DePaulo here for Bend. Now you saw also Carson Olin come from behind home plate and make a signal to the defense here. That's probably about that runner from first, right?
Right.
Are we going to throw outs? Or are we going to throw short?
Yes, that's the first and third situation is what it is. So the coach is telling them, okay, you have a runner at first and third. We're up by 5. If he goes, we're going to take the out to give up a run. Right now is what I would assume that they're going to do here.
Of course, there's 2 outs in the inning. So.
Right.
Pitch on the way to the plate is swung on a miss, and a count even here to DePaulo at 2 balls and 2 strikes. DePaulo is 0 for the night so far. Hit by a pitch, he walked, he struck out, and got aboard on an error back in the 5th. 2-2 count to him as Williamson trying to clean it up here in the 7th and keep the Elks off the scoreboard. Again, we've got the score at 11-6. Pitch on the way is strike 3 called. Gone looking is DePaulo, and that'll end the frame as we'll head to the 7th inning stretch with Wenatchee, according to the scoreboard anyway, leading it 11-6. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Baseball, the Symphony, Super Oval, and graduations are all community events we're proud to bring you on the NCWLIFE Channel. Coverage is made possible by Apple Valley Honda,
Bob's Apple Barrel Bark, Castle Rock International Real Estate, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. A reflection of and spotlight on the communities we call home. The NCWLIFE Channel.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy. Open 7 days a week in Leavenworth and Wenatchee, or stop by the 108 Lounge at the Wenatchee Walk. Eric Granstrom along with Brandon Schmitten as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The AppleSox Kids Choir doing a great job of singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here at the ballpark.
New pitcher here.
And we've got
Ty Schweiger.
All right, I'll check you on that. Number
Right-handed
45.
pitcher.
Yep. Ty Schweiger. So Schweiger takes over for Shane Buchanan. Buchanan came in relief of Bolander when Bolander just could not get an out after he didn't get a lot of help defensively in that big inning, 8-run inning for the AppleSox. Again, I'm going to have to say that we're going by the scoreboard here, and what my book says, now they have it updated.
Oh, there you go.
Point streak. Okay, so it is 11-6. And final now, Cowlitz has beaten Bellingham 4-1 tonight. So the Black Bears get the victory, and we'll get you an update on the Mariners coming up. And it looks like it's pretty good news for Mariner fans. Top of the 8th inning in Seattle, the Mariners lead it 7-3.
There we go.
Love that. So again, it is Schweiger taking over. Right-hander, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Elks. Buchanan goes an inning and 2/3. He gave up just the 1 run. And that was an earned run.
Yeah, he came in and pitched well.
He did well. Yeah, he got the final 2 outs of the 5th inning and then worked through the 6th. So he gave up just a couple of base hits. Yeah, it was Bolander who really got roughed up here in the game tonight for Ben. So Reeve Boyd, MJ Sweeney, Carson Olin, bottom of the order, do up for the AppleSox to face Schweiger. And the big right-hander. First pitch on the way is inside for ball 1.
Now, see, I was talking about effort and effortless. So if we watch him throw here, he throws hard. But if you look at him, he looks like he's putting in so much more effort. See that where he's
kind
like
of a herky-jerky.
Yeah.
Ground ball to the shortstop, and winging it over in time is Jake Hoskins across the diamond to Bennett Thompson. So 6-3 on the putouts. It has been an adventure for Ben here defensively with 4 errors in the ball game.
Well, were all 4 of them in the 1 inning?
Yes, they were. Nope, we had one. Didn't we have one in the 6th last frame? No, they ruled out a bunt. Okay, that was bunt single and a sacrifice fly. And no, yeah, you're right. All 4 errors were in the single frame.
Yeah.
Wow. 1-0 the count to MJ Sweeney, who helped the cause with a couple of base hits in that 8-run 5th inning for Wenatchee. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Scored a run, has an RBI, and a strikeout. Pitch misses away here for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Sweeney. We may have to take a little longer break.
Ooh, that ball's hit really well.
center fielder backing up on it. He'll have the room out there. This is a big ballpark.
It is. 408, that's a long ways.
So a fly out to center field for the second out. We may have to take a little longer break in between the next frame so I can get my sweatshirt on and get it over my head. 2 down here for the AppleSox in their part of the 7th. Brings up catcher Carson Olin. And I'm hoping we get a chance here for a post-game show on the field where I can actually talk to the coach about a win.
Yes, that'd be nice.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying we hope that's going to happen here tonight. This pitch misses low.
But remember, we're reporting for Bend.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes. Talking
so
to the opposing coach about the
loss.
Yes. 1-0. The count to Olin here, and this pitch misses high for ball 2. And you were talking about it between, I guess there is some activity now down towards the bullpen for Wenatchee. Or is there?
No.
Okay. You were mentioning between innings that it looked like it might be Jaden Williamson's game to finish up for Wenatchee tonight.
And he's been throwing well, so.
Yes, he has. So the Mariners getting their offense going tonight. Eugenio Suarez, by the way, with a home run. His 12th of the season, a 2-run shot in this game for the Mariners as they lead it 7-3, and a walk here issued with 2 outs to Carson Olin.
What a performance J-Rod put in that first round in the home run derby. Oh,
that
man.
was fun to watch. But he tired himself out.
He did. So it was unfortunate because he had to go first.
Yep.
Right? So had he gone second, he would have known exactly how many he had to hit to win. But 41.
Set a record, and he didn't even know he set a record.
Oh, really?
They told him in the post-game press conference, what did you think about setting a record? Oh, I did?
I like that guy.
Oh, he is. And he just enjoys the heck out of the game, and he has fun with it.
Yes.
And that's what you want. It's a game.
Yep.
Hennington up now for the AppleSox. 0-1 to count as he fouled the first pitch off. Runner aboard with 2 down for Wenatchee, and they lead it 11-6.
My son and I were talking about how cool it'd be if we could get Ohtani.
Runner from first goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw down to second base is high, and in with a stolen base is Carson Olin.
But what would we have to give up for him, right?
Probably just about everybody but Julio Rodriguez.
Right. But what a phenomenal player that guy is.
Oh,
jeez.
Generational.
Yeah.
I mean, just something we've never seen in our generation of watching baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, Babe Ruth is the closest thing that's ever come to what Ohtani is doing.
Right, but even Babe Ruth didn't do it as long.
Nope. 0-2 the count here to Hennington, and the pitch is swung on and hit to the ground to the second baseman. He'll field and throw, and that's one of the easiest plays that Tyler Peterson's had to try to make tonight.
Yeah.
And that'll be it for Wenatchee as they get a runner aboard and leave a man. We'll head to the 8th frame, 11-6. Wenatchee on top. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
All right, to the 8th inning we go, and Ryan Christensen, Bennett Thompson, and Trey Nelson do up here for the Bend Elks as Wenatchee continues to leave Jaden Williamson out there on the mound to at least get the 8th inning polished up and maybe even try to finish this game here for Wenatchee tonight.
Yeah, it looks like they have a catcher down there waiting for a pitcher maybe.
Okay, AppleSox maybe getting somebody warmed up in the bullpen. In back of Jaden Williamson, first pitch here of the inning misses for a ball to Ryan Christensen. Ryan's 0 for the night with a couple of strikeouts, a fly out, and a walk. This pitch is a strike called, and the count even to Christensen at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Christensen. Bend on the board here with 6 runs tonight. On 6 hits, this pitch is hit hard, but right at the climbing Izzy Lopez out there at shortstop. He'll make the catch for the out. Nice
that
play
ball
by,
was struck well
by Izzy. 1 down here in the 8th inning. I was talking with my wife about the last game. I think it was the last game we did, where Izzy Lopez did one of those amazing catches, and I likened it to Ozzie Smith, saying Izzy looking like Ozzie out there. And my wife says, "How old are you?"
Oh. The Wizard, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Old shortstop for St. Louis.
I used to love it when he'd go out there and do
the flip.
Yeah, handspring to a backflip.
Mm-hmm.
What athleticism!
Yeah.
That
This
ball's
pitch
hit well
swung on
too.
and hit to right field for a base hit. That'll be snared out there by Strong after a bounce on the grass.
So now here we've got 2 balls hit well off of him. So we'll see how much longer he's gonna. I still don't see anybody down there unless we miss somebody warming up. But
That could be. They could have been warming up somebody right along with Williamson as he entered the game. They're going to come out and talk to him, though, make sure that he's got enough gas in the tank.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're a pitcher and you're fresh, your ball's going to move a little bit more. It'll dive into a right-handed hitter or whatever, and as you get a little bit tired, it's going to get flatter and straighter.
Sure.
So that could be the situation here, because that's two balls
well
that
struck.
were, yeah.
And a little maybe different combination here between pitcher and catcher. Runner at first base, 1 out here in the 8th inning for Bend. In an 11-6 lead for the AppleSox. A swing and a miss by Trey Nelson on the first pitch to him, and the count 0-1.
Looked like a changeup there.
Well,
didn't
and
it?
I think he was expecting, okay, coach's visit to the mound. He's going to throw it right across the plate.
Yep.
And try to get a strike on the first pitch. So maybe a little guess there by Mr. Nelson. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit low. And the count even now to Nelson at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Again, his vantage point is much better than ours.
Mm-hmm. Nelson does have a home run tonight. That started that big 5-run rally for Bend back in that 4th inning. Yeah, Bend led this game at one point 6-1. Then Wenatchee came all the way back and then some, and now leads it 11-6. That pitch misses as well. 2-1 the count to Nelson with Braden Terry waiting on deck. Runner at first, not offering to move much over there. And the pitch on the way to the plate is a curveball. Strike. That was a pretty
right
pitch.
there. Yeah.
2-2 the count to Nelson. Braden Boyd in his work tonight, did he get a strikeout? I'm trying to remember. Yes, he did. He did get 1 strikeout. So the AppleSox pitching staff with 8 strikeouts so far on the night. And then add to it what Jaden Williamson is doing here. This pitch misses high for a ball, so the count runs full to Nelson at 3-2. This is the, 2nd inning of relief? 3rd inning of relief.
Third.
For Jaden Williamson. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts himself. So right now, Wenatchee with 8 12 strikeouts as a ball club tonight.
Got him there,
here.
too.
Strike 3 called, gone looking.
And again, hustling out of the box.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's, you might catch an umpire that I wasn't sure about that one.
Right.
Maybe I won't call it strike 3.
Yeah.
So 2 down in the 8th for Bend. Brings up Braden Terry. And 5 strikeouts in relief now for Jaden Williamson. First pitch here misses. 1-0 the count to Terry, who is 1 for 3 tonight with a run. Flew out to center in his last at bat to end the 6th. Pitch here swung on and missed. Evens the count to Terry at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And if you watch here, as they're giving signs, the catcher's giving signs here, he's doing touches on his chest and his mask and his leg. Well, it's because the visibility of the signs is not good right now if he'd put them down. So you see sometimes catchers will have fingernail polish on, white fingernail polish, and so you can see it a little bit better. But as we look here, I don't know if they'll show it here, but
from that center field camera view.
Yeah, so you can see him tapping. And so,
chest protector, things like that.
Yeah.
Pitch is swung on and hit hard to the second baseman, and they'll go to second for the close out there. Frankie Carney able to make the play. Fielder's choice out, 4-6 on the put out, and that'll do it for Ben in the 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Wenatchee up 11-6. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Mason Strong, Brandon Ponce, and Frankie Carney did order due up, but this is about the time of the game where Coach Darlington might decide to get some other bodies, other bats in there. We'll see about that. As the AppleSox lead it 11-6 here over Bend, trying to win the first game of this 3-game series and snap a 3-game losing streak for the AppleSox. That, by the way, that being swept, that was the only time this season Wenatchee's been swept by anybody. That just shows you about how well the AppleSox have played this summer, coming in with a record of 25-11. That's good enough for about 3rd best record in the West Coast League. So Mason Strong steps up in the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch to him. There we go. We just talked about maybe somebody else batting, and we do have somebody else batting for the AppleSox, and this is Josh Williams. So Josh Williams will come in and pinch hit here. Fouls the first pitch off. Pitch to him here is a curveball in there for a strike. 0-2 the count to Josh. Had a great series in Nanaimo. Hit 2 home runs on one night and then hit a grand slam home run the next night. The 0-2 pitch on the way to him here is a check swing. It's in the dirt, and they appeal, and the umpire says nope, didn't go. 1-2 the count here to Josh Williams. Normally plays center field for the AppleSox. So we'll see if he goes out in place of Mason Strong also defensively in the 9th inning. This pitch is outside for ball 2, 2-2 the count. 11-6 our score in this one. Those 3 home runs against Nanaimo, by the way, the only 3 home runs of the summer for Josh Williams. This ball misses. Quite an at-bat here for Josh Williams off the bench for the AppleSox. On the season, batting .220 with 15 RBI.
Yeah, sometimes you get hot. He was hot that series, wasn't he?
He definitely was. 3-2 pitch on the way to him here. Swung on and fouled away, and he'll stay alive at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, we also have a new pitcher on the mound. It is Romero, who has taken over for Ben. Sorry, I didn't get that one. Number 46 on the mound. Zach Romero. So he will take over for Ty Schwager. And the 3-2 pitch on the way is high for ball 4.
That was a great at-bat.
It was. He was behind 1-2 in that at-bat and came back and earned the walk. And scheduled Brandon Ponce. It will be Brandon Ponce. Brandon looking for his first hit tonight. 0 for 3. Struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, grounded out to second. He walked and scored in his last time up in the 6th. Scored on the sacrifice fly and the RBI by Izzy Lopez. Give Wenatchee 11 runs on the night. This pitch is high for ball 1, 1-0 the count. So the 5th pitcher of the night here for the Elks. That wind continues to swirl in our microphones here. Swing and a miss and a snap throw down to first base. Close play. Good throw by DePaulo down there. And the count evens to Ponce at 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see how quickly we get through the next 6 outs to see if we have time before 10 o'clock in the news tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel to get our postgame show and a chance to talk to the coach. We'll see about that. 1-1 to count here to Ponce, and a swing and a foul, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Again, next week, we've got a couple of AppleSox games here on the television station. Next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, Bellingham will be in town. We'll have that game at 6:35 live here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Then a week from Friday, July 28th, Edmonton in town to take on the Sox at 6:35. Watch it here on your television home of the AppleSox, NCWLIFE. Pickoff move to first by Romero, not in time. One inning pitched, by the way, by Schwager in relief. Did not give up a run or a hit. Walked a batter and did not strike out a batter. Count even now to Ponce at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on for Wenatchee, no outs here. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, an 11-6 ball game. This pitch is a little, I guess, low. And the count goes full at 3-2. Ponce kind of took an extra chaw out of that gum in his mouth and went, I think I'm a little lucky to still be at bat here.
Yeah. Better to be lucky than good, right?
Oh, yes. I say that in golf all the time.
Yep.
3-2 count to Ponce here. And the pitch on the way as the runner goes is high for ball 4, and that throw to second's not going to matter, or what? What do we have here? It's ball 4, is it not? The umpire is saying something to Ponce, and Branham kind of tosses his equipment down at home plate. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't say dead ball. It's ball 4.
Well, it's still a live ball. Now, if it hits him, it's a dead ball.
Well, right.
Yeah. So, it could have been. I'd have to see a replay on this, because Brandon could have walked across.
Oh, and interfered with the throw down to second?
Yes.
But it's ball 4.
Right.
At that
so
point,
that would be a moot point.
It becomes a dead situation. Runner from first is awarded second on the walk.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Brandon was a little bit frustrated, because he's like, hey, it's ball 4. I'm taking my base.
Yeah.
So a conversation on the mound here. Ben does have a left-hander warming up down at the bullpen, by the way. Wenatchee, meanwhile, with runners at first and second, and Frankie Carney coming to the plate. I'm going to start looking at Wenatchee's output so far this season.
This could be one of the better ones,
Yeah, they've got 12 runs earlier on the road at Bend.
13 against Victoria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the high point, was 13 runs against Victoria back on June 10th here at Paul Thomas. One and 0, meanwhile, the count to Frankie Carney, with the runners at first and second, and Romero in a pickle. Pitch is across for a strike, and the count even now to Carney at 1-1 strike. Two teams will play again tomorrow night here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at 6:35, and then as the weather starts to warm up, Sox hope to get hot again on Wednesday at 6:35 here at the ballpark. 1-1 the count. Pitch by Romero is a bunt attempt. You know, and a lot of fans might be going, well, you're up by 5 runs. Why would you try to do that here? Hey, it's situational baseball. It's live baseball. You don't get a chance to practice this, really. So, all right, let's see how you do.
Right. And like you said, they're preparing themselves, right?
Yeah.
So he's not...
For a circumstance where it's a tie game, for example, or something like that.
Or for next year when he's in college.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And Frankie Carney has a lot of speed. He'll swing and miss at the next pitch, and the count goes to a 2 strikes. So, and maybe that's not something the coach called. Maybe that's him trying to bunt himself aboard.
Right. Could be. You know. Yeah.
And that was a swing and a miss on strike 3, by the way, so I apologize for that. One out here in the 8th, and brings up Izzy Lopez.
He's got the 1 hit and a couple pop-ups tonight.
Swing and a miss here. This also might be a point of a game, too, where that swing by Izzy kind of made me think, all right, well, maybe I'm going to try to reach the fence.
Yeah. Yep. What the heck?
In a game that's, you know, basically decided, except for the final out. 0-1 the count here to Izzy. Does have an RBI with a sac fly in his last plate appearance. This pitch is taken for a strike, and the count of 1-2. So as a coach, you get in a game like this where it's okay. We're over 3 hours into this, and you know it's been a long night, and you know I'd like to get home. Do you kind of do you kind of wish, okay, let's get the final outs here and let's go? As a coach,
offensively, I still want to put more runs on.
Right.
But yes, as far as defensively, yeah, let's get those outs and, like you said, get out of here. You know,
Izzy swings and fouls it into the catcher's glove. DePaulo hangs on to it. So now 2 down in the inning for the AppleSox. Brings up Nick Putnam, and everything these guys do reflects on their college. You know, watching what's going on.
Right.
Some are collegiate. You know, maybe it reflects also on where they could play next year. Some of these guys are trying to reach the Cape Cod League or something like that.
Right.
And so the better you can do and put better numbers up, it all benefits you down the road.
Right. And kids that are at community college moving on to hopefully get a chance at a 4-year.
4-year school, right? This pitch misses outside of Putnam.
And maybe they don't want to go to Linfield or a Whitworth. Maybe they want to go to Oregon State or, so.
1-0 the count to Nick, who's had a good night tonight. He's 2 for 3. This pitch is swung on a miss. Count evens at 1-1 strike.
A lot of those decisions for next year are probably already made.
Yeah.
But years down the road.
And with the transfer portal now and all of that,
Right.
I mean, you could play in 5 schools in 5 years.
I know, it's ridiculous.
1-1 the count to Putnam. Runners at first and second. AppleSox up by 5. This pitch is low. The ball thrown down to third base on a steal attempt. And
that right there was on the pitcher.
There's a double steal pulled off by the AppleSox.
And I wish I would have said something, because he was a 1 look, then looked away, and he was the UC or UCL right there.
Right.
But he was consistent.
So the AppleSox swipe the bag, got runners in second and third with 2 down, and a 2-1 count here to Nick Putnam. So a chance for Putnam to pick up maybe some RBI.
He's hit the ball hard a couple times tonight.
Yes, he has. Romero's pitch swung on and fouled back. And so now the count even to Putnam at 2 balls and 2 strikes. What few fans remain here at the ballpark, trying to give a little verbal support to Mr. Putnam at the plate. Romero's 2-2 pitch is low for ball 3.
And, you know, looking at it as a coach, a 5-run lead is nice. But
7-run lead would be even better.
Yes. And as a coach, you always wanted to get to at least 4 because then a grand slam doesn't beat you.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So if you're at 5, you're looking pretty good. But especially if Jaden Williams comes back out and continues to throw as well as he did.
Well, and that changes what you can do pitching-wise.
Right.
If you add a few more, extra runs and you got a guy that's thrown a few innings and he might be a little tired.
Yeah.
Well,
and if in the big leagues, take, for example, if you're ahead by 4, you're not going to see your closer because it's not a save opportunity. You're going to want to put him in when it's a save opportunity, and that doesn't put him there. So it gives that guy a night's rest.
Full count now to Putnam, and the pitch is low for ball 4. So that'll load him up for Wenatchee with 2 down, and that'll bring up Reeve Boyd. Reeve with a base hit. That was that kind of 50-50 ball back in the 5th.
Yep.
And then an error ruled on the shortstop. That allowed more runners to move up. So he's 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. But Reeve a chance to pick up maybe some more here for the AppleSox. Bases jammed in an 11-6 ball game. And the first pitch is a fastball, low for ball 1. Boyd came into the ball game batting .247 for Wenatchee. He has just the, let's see here, 12 RBI on the summer. Make it 13
almost
after an RBI earlier tonight. And that pitch was inside. Yeah, almost gave him an RBI on a hit batsman.
Those are great to have when the game's tied, not when you're up by 5 or 6.
No, definitely not. 2-0 the count to Boyd here.
Hurts a lot less when you're up by when it's a game-winning hit by pitch.
This pitch misses low and away for ball 3. So things are getting a little tight around the neck here, Mr. Romero, with the bases jammed. Williams at third base. Ponce at second. Putnam at first. And a 3-0 count to Reeve Boyd. And this is taken all the way for a strike. 3-1 to count.
Now this one, as a pitcher, you got to go at him because otherwise you got runners running on a full count.
Check swing, fouled away, and the count will run full, and that's heading towards the van. Look out, Malcolm.
Just missed it.
Just missed it.
So now it's full count. The runners are running.
Pitch swung on and chopped towards the shortstop. Took a high hop to him. The throw to first base is in time. And that'll retire Wenatchee. So they leave 3 aboard here in the 8th. To the 9th we go. Wenatchee trying to win it for the first time on live television here on the NCWLIFE Channel this summer. We'll come back with that 9th frame next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
I I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
You're watching AppleSox baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Jaden Williamson, I believe, if my numbers are correct here, has a chance to win it himself here tonight. Because he came in relief for the AppleSox in the 5th inning, and it was the 5th inning when Wenatchee took the lead, was it not?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 8 runs in the 5th inning, so that would, wait a minute, or would that be Joseph Rajo's chance to win?
I think it's Joseph.
Okay, Joseph Rajo's chance to win it, because he pitched the top of the 5th, and then Wenatchee came up and scored in the bottom of the 5th.
Right.
Okay, got it. So Jaden Williamson, whatever the case, trying to wrap up a victory here for the AppleSox. He'll face Maddox Maloney, Justin Sukata, and Tyler Peterson here for Bend in their part of the 9th inning. Williamson has done fantastic in relief here for the AppleSox. First pitch, though, here goes all the way to the backstop, and the count 1-0 to Maddox Maloney. Maddox is 1 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts, a base hit, and also a run scored. And again, Wenatchee, you got to give them credit here. They trailed this at one point 6-1 in this ball game, and it came all the way back and lead it 11-6 now. And how about the pitching staff shutting it down after that?
Right. Yeah.
They gave up that 5 spot in the 4th inning, and they've just given up 1 run since, and that's it.
And truly, that was Boyd that was throwing in that inning, and he did not throw bad.
No, there were some little leakers.
There was one hard hit base hit.
Yeah, 3 leakers, and then Sukata came through that base hit, and that kind of rattled the doors there. And
well, you go back to Bolander, that pitch for them. He had 4 errors in the 1 inning, where we got the runs. So
and then there were seeing eye singles after that.
Yeah,
but it was what started that. You know, the ball was rolling down the hill. 2-2 count here, and the pitch swung on a miss. And how about the relief work here of Jaden Williamson? That is his 6th strikeout in relief for Wenatchee. 1 down here in the 9th, and that'll bring up left fielder Justin Sukata.
If he doesn't have a 4-year college to go to after. No, we were talking, is Lower Columbia College. Is that Lower Columbia Community College? Or is that?
I believe so.
Okay. So he should have looks going to a 4-year college after this.
You would think so. Yeah, absolutely. First pitch misses for ball 1 to Sukata, who is 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed, and the count even now to Sukata at 1 ball and 1 strike. Are you getting help from the texters here?
I'm going to, yeah.
Okay, just to make sure we're right about this. Well, you know, I've got a computer right here. I could look it up.
My wife said if the AppleSox do end up winning, that means that you guys have to wear the same hats and clothes that you're wearing tonight, since you were talking about superstitions and all.
You know, she's right.
Yes.
Yes. By the way, the count has run to 2-1 here on Sukata, and this pitch misses away for ball 3. 3-1 to count. It says Lower Columbia College in Longview, Washington. So I believe that's a community college, so a CC. This pitch misses down low for ball 4. So a walk given up by Williamson. That is just his 2nd walk in relief here for the AppleSox. So with 1 on and 1 out, back to the top of the order for Tyler Peterson. Well, I can tell you real quick, because they'd be in the NWAC, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
If it's a Columbia or if it's a community college. This pitch is in there for a strike to Peterson, 0-1 to count.
Yeah, it's a 2-year public.
Okay.
Yep, so Lower Columbia College.
All right, got it.
Because that's what we were thinking, but
well,
sometimes usually they put.
I get in trouble when I think, Brandon. So.
Right.
0-1 to count here. Swung on, look out into the AppleSox dugout, and somebody made a great play. I don't know who made the catch below us.
Must have been a bat boy or something.
Somebody made a great catch. 0-2 the count now to Peterson with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. 11-6 our ball game score. Sox would love to get a double play ball here. Pitch by Williamson on the way. Swung on a miss, and another strikeout. Make it 7 in relief for the right-hander. And we're trying to wrap this up before we get to our news at 10 o'clock here on the NCWLIFE Channel with Jefferson Robbins. Jake Hoskins stands between Bend and an L, or a Wenatchee win.
Yes.
And snapping a little streak here on the NCWLIFE Channel. This pitch swung on a foul back. The count 0-1. Again, these two teams will meet tomorrow night at 6:35 and Wednesday at 6:35. Joel Norman will have the call on Sunny FM radio, as he does every game, home and away, here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. And a huge help to us to get us to sound like we know anything about what's happening on the games that we call. 0-1 the count. Pitch on the way is a strike. 0-2 the count. And those remaining here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium starting to rise to their feet as the AppleSox try to bounce back from a 3-game sweep by Victoria over the weekend. Trying to get back on the winning track here. Try to put themselves in position to get to the postseason. The pitch on the way to the plate is high for a ball.
Good pitch.
And get him to fish.
Yep.
Williamson off the mound. Grabs the rosin bag. Gets a little extra tuft in his right hand. Looks in towards Carson Oland and gets the sign. No look at the runner. Pitch on the way to the plate is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2.
His mechanics are staying good because he still looks effortless. And he's running it up there, isn't he?
Yes, he does. So the AppleSox try to get their 26th win of the summer. Trying to go 7-3 in the second half. The pitch on the way is a little bit low for a ball. 2-2.
Very disciplined here by this hitter.
There comes a 2-2 pitch as the runner goes. Strike 3 called, gone looking, and how about striking out the side for 8 strikeouts in the ball game for Jaden Williamson in relief for the Wenatchee AppleSox as Wenatchee gets the win tonight by a score of 11-6. And we're going to wrap up the broadcast right here. On behalf of our entire crew out here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, thank you for watching AppleSox baseball tonight. Brandon?
Thank you,
We
Eric.
got to win finally.
Yes,
we
all
got to
right,
win.
let's go.
Now we got to wear all of this again next week. We'll be back here again on Tuesday next for the Bellingham Wenatchee game, and then next Friday as the AppleSox will wrap up the home part of the regular season. We'll have that game for you against Edmonton live right here next Friday night. That's going to do it again. 11-6. The AppleSox get the victory tonight. We finally got a win. We finally did it, Joel Norman, so you can't keep us out of the ballpark anymore.
That's right.
That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Pitch to the plate on an 0-2 swung.
You've been watching a special presentation of AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Today's broadcast has been a service of these fine sponsors: Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Walkabout Grill. Thanks for watching this special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. We now return you to regular programming already in progress.